afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Number 1 Ohio State opens Big Ten play at Washington Saturday at 3:30. Hear from Buckeyes head coach Ryan Day next on The Fan. More college football. The ACC agreed to move to a 9-game conference slate in 2026, joining the rest of the Power 4 conferences. From the NFL, the Detroit Lions beat the Baltimore Ravens 38-30. Baseball tonight, Cleveland Guardians host the Detroit Tigers at 6:40 with the AL Central on the line. Guards have won 10 of their last 11, trailing the Tigers by 1 game in the division. 13-5, Tarek Skubal starts for Detroit against 11-5, Gavin Williams for Cleveland. Cincinnati Reds welcome the Pittsburgh Pirates at 6:40. Reds own the third NL wildcard spot at 80-76. 2-0, Johan Oviedo starts for Pittsburgh against 14-10, Brady Singer for Cincinnati. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, welcome back in. If I could throw a flag for illegal motion on the head coach, I would, but he is at the podium because everything is getting pushed up this week. When I asked Jim Lachey on Monday when they're leaving, he said Thursday. Now, remember, they left Friday to go to Oregon last year. So everything's getting pushed up, and the presser is underway. We'll take you right to it.
This is a live feed of Ryan Day's weekly press conference, sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
With those kinds of talents.
Yeah, whether it's on the road or at home, a quarterback who can move with the quickness and the acceleration that he moves with is difficult. It's a challenge, and but not only that. I mean, he's very accurate with the football, makes good decisions. Doesn't turn the ball over, extends plays. He's a weapon in the run game because he can equate numbers. He's been very accurate. So it's a great challenge for our defense. I think he's an excellent quarterback, and our defense is going to have to work hard this week to prepare.
Yeah, I think one of the cool things about those new teams, Ryan, is you see some new venues in the Big Ten. I mean, what have you heard about Washington? If you Google top venues, it's in the top 10 of pretty much everyone's list.
Right. Expecting a great environment. And I think that's what's great about being in the Big Ten. You see now so many different styles of stadiums, different fan bases. And while I've never played at Washington, I've heard great things about it, the university, where it's located, but then, their fan base, the stadium itself, and how loud it gets. So, we're expecting a great environment, and that's what's a great part about being on the road. You get to go into these, environments and, get a feel for what it's like. But that's why you decide to come to play in the Big Ten, is to play, in stadiums and environments like this. Two great teams getting after it. But traveling to the West Coast, that's a new experience for all of us, and I think it's great. It's great for us nationally in recruiting, and obviously a great opponent.
Right after the game, the OU game, you talked about kind of trying to find that rhythm for 3 running backs. Is it possible that, maybe in a position where rhythm's an important thing, that maybe there are too many pokers in the fire trying to play 3 running backs and get 3 running back carries, or?
No, it's a good question. How do you get everybody into a rhythm of the game? Each player is different. You kind of saw last year how we did it. Some guys got hot that game, we played them, but it's a long season, so we're sort of looking at it that way, that we need all the running backs throughout the season, and however that shakes out, we'll see each week. We'll look at the game plan, we'll look at where we are, we'll look at the health of everybody, and then figure out who deserves carries. There's no question that, Bo did flash last game, and so we're going to keep building on that as we move forward.
Coach, obviously the first road trip of the year, young kids and everything, how does the routine change? And it's going to be an earlier game out there, at least out there for them.
Yeah, so we'll leave Thursday of this week. We're going to keep everything else the same. A little bit like when we were in the playoffs, just sort of that mindset of going into a new environment, sort of getting calibrated, and then going to play from there. So we'll have our normal Tuesday here, team meeting at 2:30. Have our Tuesdays, have our Wednesday, practice Thursday a little bit earlier, get on the plane, head out there, land, go to the hotel, have our snack, go to bed, wake up, and then do our best Fridays there. So that'll be it. And, we think that that's the best way to go. We spent a lot of time talking about it, Coach Mick, myself, some of the other coaches, to figure out what gives us the best chance. And so you have to play at our maximum level. But the good news is a bunch of our guys, in the playoffs, we went out to L.A., we went out to Dallas, we went to Atlanta. And although we don't have as much time, it's similar that way. So we'll keep that same mindset.
Second row middle, no hands.
Ryan, when you're playing a defense that plays as much man as Washington does and as Ryan Walters has, what's a reasonable expectation for how much they might change things up? Or if you're a man defense, you're going to play man. If you're a zone defense, you're going to play zone.
Yeah, you have to prepare for everything. They've changed some in what they've done. They've done a lot of things that they've done in the past, and they have good players. They have the right personnel to do whatever they want to do, and we'll have to prepare for everything. We know that they can do multiple things and have different ways to do it, and we have to make sure we're focused on us, and executing and making sure that we're taking care of the football and we're doing our part, and we recognize what they're in, and then go from there. But I'm sure there'll be a mix.
Kind of a more bigger picture thing. Back when you were deciding whether or not you wanted to take this job or not, what about you and your own kind of self-evaluation of yourself let you know you were going to be able to handle the eyes, the expectations, the magnitude of everything that came with what this job was going to be?
I don't think I knew at the time. It's like, you're never ready probably to buy your first house. You're never ready to have your first kid. I don't think you're ever ready to be a head coach for the first time, certainly at a place like Ohio State. But I had great coaches around me that I would follow to press conferences. I'd be able to sit in meetings with administrators. I'd sit in recruiting meetings. I'd watch them work, the staff. And I just always took a lot of notes to figure out when it was my turn to become a head coach, how I'd want that to look. Had a great experience in 18, just, during that preseason to kind of go through and learn a lot of things from some great coaches. Greg Schiano and Larry Johnson and, Kevin Wilson. There's just a lot of good people that kind of put their arm around me at that time. And then obviously, what Coach Meyer did in terms of establishing things here, and then all the coaches that I was around. So you're never quite too sure how it's going to go. And you learn every year. That's what it is. And just saying to somebody that day, almost going on a decade of being here now, and it goes fast. But every year you learn more and more about yourself, about your staff, about your team, about what needs to be done on a daily basis, setting the expectations, and then meeting them. And that's it. You just got to have that mindset every day, a growth mindset that you got to get better, and you go from there. But it's the same thing as being the coordinator. And it was the same thing when you were a first-time position coach. You're just never quite too sure if you're ready, but you just got to go and learn and grow. And that's what this job's all about.
And just as a follow-up, I think sometimes coaches can get upset when it feels like you won a game and maybe that wasn't enough, right? It's just as much about like what the win looks like, how you win, kind of an expectation of what it's supposed to look like, as it is about just winning a football game, especially when you're starting to play Big Ten games, when you're starting to play in talent equated.
Yeah, I think it's a great conversation, because I think if you start worrying too much about quote unquote style points, you can get yourself in a bad situation fast. The number one goal is to win the game, period. I mean, there's no other sport that anything matters other than winning. But college football used to have style points, and they still do have style points, and that's something that you have to be careful on. That being said, we expect a certain level of execution. We want to play a certain way, and when that's met, we know it's met. When we're playing to our standard, we know what that looks like. So we hold ourselves to our standard, not our opponents. And so whether it's practice or a game, it doesn't matter who we're playing. It's about how we play, and then we grade ourselves on that, trying to identify what the issues are regardless of the opponent, and then we go from there. So, whatever the scoreboard says is one thing. What we think and where we are is another thing. The scoreboard really is important to win the game, but ultimately, we're judging ourselves based on a certain set of criteria that we judge ourselves at. And if we're grading out a champion, grading over 80%, and we're the hardest playing team in the country, then we have a chance to win every game. And that's really what it has to be. But we all know the number one goal is to win the game, period. And this game in particular is going to be an absolute battle. This is a very, very good team, really good in all three phases and well coached. So to go and get this win on the road is going to take everything we got with this team. So our guys are fired up for it, and we need to have a great week of practice.
Deep center field, Dan Hope.
Ryan, you mentioned the change to traveling Thursday this year. Obviously, you guys traveled Friday last year to Oregon. What did you guys learn from that road trip to Oregon last year that maybe you guys needed to adjust this year?
It wasn't really anything about the trip. I thought we were ready and we were playing fast. I don't think there was anything sports science-wise that says us leaving the day before had any effect in the game. But that being said, we did a lot of, because I think it's more about, are you focused? Are you locked in? Are you sluggish? You look at all these different metrics. Didn't see any of that. But that being said, we always want to get better. And, we've done a lot of studying on this. We've talked to a lot of people in the NFL. We've talked to different other, sports and how they travel multiple time zones. And we felt like this is the best way. We also really looked at how we played in the playoffs as an indicator on this. And so, like we said, we always learn. So we're always trying to get better.
Ryan, you mentioned, I think, on the radio last week that you saw their quarterback in high school in the state championship game against Arizona. How is he? What do you remember about that time, and how is he kind of like getting involved as a player since that time? That's made him.
Yeah, I don't remember a whole bunch other than I remember saying he's a baller. He was playing his tail off in that game. It was a rainy day, and I like the competitiveness of him. And I didn't really remember that until just like within the last couple of weeks that I was at that game and watched him play live. But impressive athlete and a really good player.
Also, front row,
When did you watch the Apple Cup on Saturday live?
Yeah.
What were your impressions?
A great rivalry, and a rivalry that goes back a long time, and just two programs that are fiercely competitive and getting after it. And, I thought both teams played really, really hard. Was very impressed with how Washington played.
When you were watching it, were you thinking, well, this will certainly get our guys' attention, and we got to be on our A game this week?
I think this is a team that was in the national championship not long ago. I mean, this is a very proud program, and they have really good players. I think our guys understand and have understood that this is a very good program with a lot of talent at multiple positions. And going on the road in this conference is not easy to do. It's going to be a great environment. So I think that was what our guys expected, and that's what I expected watching the game. Again, really good play. But again, it's a really good challenge to figure out where we are as a program right now after 4 weeks of being in the season. So again, all focus is on this week of preparation.
Second row, Doug Members.
What's it like for a center on the road in a loud environment, and where do you think Carson is in handling everything that goes into a game like this?
When you're inexperienced, it's a big challenge. Just like anybody, you learn and you grow. Carson's now been in it before. Luke's been in it last year. Josh Padilla's practiced in it a ton. So these are not young guys in this environment. We practice it a lot during the week. So getting everybody on the same page is something we've been preparing for. So we have to use it as a weapon. It can't be something that hinders us in any way. And I think it's easy when you're on a silent cadence to use whether you're using the clap or using some sort of indicator to start playing passive. That's not going to be the case here. We have to play very aggressive in this game. And at the end of the day, we still know what the cadence is. The defense doesn't. So it's just a matter of how you work it, your experience doing it, and your comfort level. I feel like we have some pretty good comfort in what we're doing, but we got to make sure we're on it this week and can't have false starts. I mean, that's the discipline of this, and a big part of that is the composure of making sure that each play we know exactly what the cadence is, and that we're doing our assignments.
Ryan, if you set the Texas game aside, that's just it was what it was to start the season. You guys entered the year not seeing CJ run for Ohio State, not knowing what James could do in a lead role, and not knowing what Bo could be as a freshman. How much did you guys use the 2 weeks following the Texas game to kind of evaluate them on what their strengths and weaknesses were? Do you feel like in that Ohio game you kind of started to see James pick it up a little?
Yeah, I do. He hasn't played a lot of football either. Travion and Quinshawn took most of the reps last year, and it's hard. Practice is important for running backs, but very important. But you have to almost play with an imagination sometimes because you're not getting taken to the ground. So, getting in the game, you get a feel for all of those things. And I thought he ran better in that game. But this is a much different opponent and a bigger challenge. So we got to continue to see all those guys step up in this game.
Timothy Robinson.
Ryan, obviously, Texas, Grambling, Ohio all gave you different levels of competition, but when you have a defense that's so new, I think sometimes there's a tendency, a defensive line is so new, there's a tendency of them to get out of passing lane, just trying to seek sacks and TFLs. How do you evaluate their ability to stay in the lanes that they need to be and stay in their gaps as you prepare for
Yeah, we just try to do the best we can on the film to coach it up and what we see and make sure they understand what their assignments are and to do their job. Regardless of the opponent, like I've said, it's about us and what we're seeing on film and projecting the issues out that are going to be there and making sure that we understand again our opponent and what they bring to the table, but then also we have to hold ourselves accountable to do our job and what we're doing in our schematics. So, like you said, we have 3 different opportunities to evaluate what went on in the game, but then we also have all the practices where we're going against really good people on the other side of the ball. So we try to use all those to identify where we're at, our strengths, our weaknesses, and then go from there.
Fourth row middle, Patrick Murphy.
Ryan, you guys obviously have talented wide receiver, talented cornerback. Washington does too, but they have size that's really noticeable at both of those positions. Yeah. How do you prepare on either side of the ball going against a guy that's maybe bigger than what you're used to seeing on a basis?
Well, you have decent size, at wide out. And then, you have IGB, who's a little bit of a bigger corner. And so, you just try to do the best you can to, simulate that during the preseason, because when you're going to go against different styles of player and understand what you're up against, ultimately it shouldn't really affect how you're playing your game, but it's good to know your opponent. It's good to understand how these guys operate. And they have a lot of length on the back end. Both corners are really, really long and leggy and can get their hands on you and cover you really well. So it'll be good for our guys, because like you said, this is, the guys at Texas, were good size as well, and we see them every day in practice. But these guys are a little bit bigger, so we have to understand that and how we're going to get open and how we're going to play the ball. And you got to play big when you're playing against bigger corners. You can't just let the ball get to your body. You got to play extended, things like that. So all things we'll be working on.
Third row on the aisle, Jeff Gilbert.
Coach, their defensive line, the challenge that is for your guys up front, in addition to the noise issue that we talked about, a couple big tackles in the middle. What's that look like for your guys up front, and does that affect running game at all?
Oh yeah, it certainly does, and they do a great job of getting everybody in one-on-one situations. Coach Walters has always done a great job of that, and so it'll be a really good challenge for everybody on the field. Everybody has to win their one-on-ones the way that the style of defense is played, and so and he knows exactly what he's trying to get done each play. So we have to make sure we're winning our one-on-ones, and that's everybody, including the offensive line.
In front of him, Steve Elway.
Yeah, Coach, the 2 stats that stick out, one of them, to his point, I think they lead the country in 4-man pass rush rate, 50%. With just the 4-man rush, that's one. And then on the other side of the ball, they've scored on 21 straight possessions, going back 2.5 games. Just what can you do, one, to slow down the pass rush and then slow down their offense a little bit and make them punt or something?
Something, yeah. The punt reel was real fast this week. There was 2 punts. They were both pooch. So moving right along. They have been very, very efficient on offense and really haven't made any mistakes. So, we all know what we need to do to discourage that. But yeah, they, whether it's, on first down, staying on schedule, creating explosive plays, executing in the red zone, all of those things they've done a great job of. And quarterback makes quick decisions. Running back gets downhill, and he's built low to the ground and very, very powerful. And then Boston is a real weapon on the outside. So you combine all of those things, very, 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 very talented. In terms of their rush, yeah, they come hard. They have some talented pass rushers, so who are always trying to get on an edge, and so we got to do our part on that and making sure that we're giving the quarterback time.
We'll wrap it up here in the front with Tim May.
Thank you very much, Mike. Ryan, you just touched on it a minute ago, but how far do you go back looking at Walters' defenses, maybe at Purdue and stuff, getting ready for a game like this, or do you have enough tape available from the first several games with these guys.
Yeah, they're a little bit different than they were in the past. They got some different players in there and playing more 4 down. So we have the 3 games we're kind of looking at. We'll always look at what happened in the past, but I think maybe even last year, he was a little bit more on the offensive side. So we look at everything, but we want to make sure we're focused on what's here and now.
Julia, in the red zone last week, a couple of times it looked like he was a little hesitant. Maybe that's the right term. I don't even know what it was. Cautious. What have you talked to with him? What have you talked to him about the red zone and stuff and the urgency, but not being over urgent? I mean, what's it been like?
Yeah, just overall execution for everybody involved. We just missed a couple things in terms of the pass game that we got to clean up. We got to get that done. We missed a couple runs down there that I think schematically were well designed. We just didn't execute them, and that's on everybody to make sure that gets done, coaches included. And then, when it comes to the second part of the route, I thought he did a nice job of finding Max on the extension and the good pickup. But, he got tripped up on the first one there. If he can keep his feet, he's going to see Carnell in the back of the end zone on that one. So we all just need to do better. But as always, the quarterback gets all the attention. He's got to do his part down there because that's how you evaluate quarterbacks is, as we all talked about, 3rd down, red zone, 2 minute.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You've been listening to the Ryan Day Press Conference on The Fan.
Sponsored by The Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact The Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
Looky here, a little quick in and out for the coach as we'll reset all of this. Want to welcome in our sub co-host, Dylan Tyre from the Blue Jackets. Welcome, my man.
Thanks,
if we had an applause, sound effect, that would work, but I'll do it naturally. Good
I appreciate the heck out of that. TLC, what are you doing back there? Get some applause going for me or something, man.
I got a gong and I got a big word alert. Which one you want?
Don't gong me. Come on.
You can't play him off.
I do want to. I hopefully will be gonged at some point.
Dylan knows about the gong.
Oh yeah, I hopefully will be at some point during.
You
the show.
live in a gong world, though.
Oh, I do.
I mean,
yeah.
you work he works for a professional hockey team. Of course.
He gave us a gong when he said, "My parents live in wine country."
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a soft gong.
Not in wine.
Do they have a 2-seater bicycle or no?
Yeah.
They do?
Yes. Like a tandem bike?
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad's a big
I'm just
biker,
guessing.
so,
that was just a guess. If you live in wine country as a couple.
They don't live inside wine country. They live adjacent to wine country. Part of the reason they moved to where they live is because it's very close. They're large wine people, and yes, they do have a tandem bike. My dad is a big biker, so.
Does he have a white Jaguar?
No, not a white Jag.
Is he a member of the Tuscan Club out there in Sonoma or wherever you're talking about?
No, he's not.
Okay.
He is not. He not a car guy whatsoever. Okay. Just a wine guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's a joke in there somewhere. I'm not really sure, but by the way, one of the cool things about having you in is we get to discuss fantasy. So we'll do some fantasy hockey. I've got some things to run by you later because I'll be doing my draft soon enough.
Oh.
We'll be taking the show to your office tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you guys. Bundle up.
It's an office swap.
Yeah, I think TLC, you get the benefit of all this is you get to stay home and not be in the cold arena tomorrow.
I get to stay warm. That's right.
Dylan
was warning me.
It is frigid in there right now. Bring the hand warmers, bundle up, bring the beanies. I know Matty Ice is what they call a freeze baby, right? He hates the cold. So,
we were running the stadium steps last year to stay warm.
Yeah,
so that works.
Sure. I mean, that's a way to go about it. I like that. I really like that.
Yeah. Need that.
There's a content play in there somewhere.
There should be, right?
Yeah,
I hope
there
so.
Should be.
So we'll have stuff to do today with you on the hockey. We'll get into some cool stuff in the NFL, the game last night. We'll have Tyvis Powell on today. And, of course, Austin Ward will talk Buckeyes in the final hour at 2:30. I thought, listen, Coach is taking his team on the road for the first time, taking his young quarterback on the road for the first time. I expected to hear what I did, which is the new experience and traveling and moving it up a day. There were a lot of talk about a great opponent. We'll see. It took them. I think you respect this opponent. I don't know if I put him in the great category yet. In reverse, though, I will tell you the counter to that argument, if you were not a Buckeye fan, would be to say to me, well, how good is Texas? How do we know how good they are?
We really don't at this point.
We don't. And so that would be the counter argument. But I'm not putting Washington in the great category. I think they have a great home atmosphere. I think they have good weapons. I'm curious to see them. I like when Ryan Day, he almost went full I don't know how much of a movie guy you are, and this is old, but in Rambo, when Colonel Troutman came in and he was discussing Rambo, and it was just like, when Ryan Day was talking about don't worry about style points, he's like, win the game, period. And he said it twice. All I kept thinking was Colonel Troutman, to dispose of the enemy, to kill, win by attrition, period. And Rambo was the best. Like, I expected him to break into that. How did the presser strike you today?
I'm kind of on the same page as you when it comes to it. What's he supposed to say when it comes to a matchup like this? I think the number one thing, right, is seeing what the young quarterback looks like on the road in a hostile environment. You said they've got a good atmosphere there at Washington. Their stadium right on the water. That's what it's going to be for me. And that's what it was to start the season against Texas, right? How would Julian Sayin handle that environment? I was really impressed. I was at the game. I was nervous as heck just to see what he would look like. And, Ohio State's got their butts up against the goal line, and Julian Sayin's calm, cool, and collected, delivering accurate balls. Now it's a little bit different going on the road for the first time. I do think it's important. The style points thing doesn't matter at this point. I don't think it matters really when you get to the Big Ten slate. That's winning games, period, like Ryan Day just said. So if you can go on the road and win this game, it's a positive, right? If you can do it with style points, then you're really cooking with gas, I think. So what's my takeaway from what Ryan Day said right there? Not a whole lot, because what are you supposed to say going into a game that you're supposed to win, right? All that matters this week is how the young quarterback looks in a hostile environment.
I was sensing today, Dylan, that Ryan Day seems very comfortable now. And certainly he should. He pulled off one of the great comebacks of all time, winning the playoff and coming from the seed they did and winning those games in a row against the teams they beat. He always had talent. I'm not saying that he did it with some underdog team. He did it with a lot of talent, but it was a surprise for people because a lot of people thought he had lost the team after he lost to Michigan again, and maybe their minds would be melted and they wouldn't be able to pull that off. But what I was sensing today is that maybe in the past or early in his head coaching career, he would have been caught up more in style. That he would have been hearing the voices. You have NFL talent. Throw the ball to him. Take shots. Take chances. Show highlights. Let's see it. Now it's hurt him in the Michigan game.
Yeah, that's where my mind went.
That's the counter. It has hurt him he buys more into. I think it finally, after winning a title, he's gone through this evolution of. Well, the most important game is Michigan. Got to win Michigan. How do you win Michigan? You got to run the ball. You got to be tough. You got to play defense, but don't make any mistakes. Let's play not to lose and just win the game. Michigan's not about style points. It's about winning the game. And anybody that wins the rushing battle wins this game. So we're going to hand this ball off, and we're going to win that stat no matter what, because if I win that stat, I win the game. He gets caught up in that, and they lose the game, a close game, against a team that probably shouldn't have been with them toe-to-toe offensively. Obviously, that's the only way Michigan could have won that game is the way they did. Now, he's got a young quarterback, and I think he feels he can lean into, I can pick my spots. I don't need to try to win Jeremiah Smith the Heisman this year. That's not my goal. My goal isn't to win him the Heisman. My goal is to win another national championship and hopefully beat Michigan along the way. And the proof I have of this is that when C.J. Donaldson stepped out at the 4 last week and was 4th and 3, so it's a 4-point game early third. You're playing the Bobcats. You're at home. Full crowd. What did Ryan Day do? He had enough of going for it. I'm taking the field goal. I'm going up 7. I'm going to get a touchdown lead. I'm not saying he was worried about losing. What I'm saying is that's the proof to me. Because 4th and 3, if you don't get it and you're still up 13-9, you're leaving the Bobcats inside their 5-yard line. I think he would have done that in years past. I think he would have felt like he had to. I think he would have felt he had to prove something. And I think that when you don't go for it, and we saw Dan Campbell, he always goes for it. But sometimes as a head coach, you need an evolution. This is just dime store analysis. That sometimes it's okay to tell your team we're taking points versus everyone else that tells me, oh, if you kick there, you're sending the subliminal message to your team that you don't think they can get it. And you're playing to a weakness. Him kicking that field goal and going up 16-9 against OU, to me, was a very untold story of that game.
Do you guys remember what Matt Nagy's play sheet used to say on it when he was the head coach of the Chicago Bears?
BU.
I think that's what Ryan Day is probably found right now.
You can hear it.
Yeah, like I feel like the Buckeyes are becoming Ryan Day, and you saw that the team kind of took his identity throughout the playoff last year, and now that he's done that, and I do think early in the season you see the confidence in Julian saying that allows him to do things like, hey, we're going to take the points and kick right here because we know we can fall back on what this team is. And really the non-conference slate is for figuring that out, right? Who are we this season? Who can we be? And I don't think that Ohio State feels it has to fit some mold because they've kind of discovered that. They can do a few different things. I still think they're kind of figuring out who they are when it comes to running the football and, figuring out some things on that offensive line. But all of this comes back to what can we fall back on? Well, we know the quarterback is calm, cool, and collected. He's accurate. We have great weapons on the outside. We can always fall back on that. We don't need to press. And obviously the defense being tremendous last season and tremendous early this season, I think really helps that. It takes a lot of pressure off of the offense and feeling like, hey, we do need to go for it here. Hey, we do need to get a touchdown here compared to, kicking an easy field goal. So I just think it's that Ryan Day, he's confident. It's the same thing, and I'm sure we'll talk about it later in the show. For me, I call them all rookie quarterbacks, but quarterbacks on rookie deals, these young quarterbacks, it just takes time, right? Like a guy needs 3, 4, 5 years, maybe even 6 years. And look at Baker Mayfield right now. These quarterbacks need time in the NFL to figure out how to properly manage a game. I think head coaches are the exact same way, right? And for Ryan Day, becoming a first-time head coach in college football, you're discovering who you are in that setting. He knew who he was when he was a college football player. He knew who he was when he was, a quarterback's coach or a passing game coordinator. Now he knows who he is as a college football head coach. So it's just about being you, and I think that's what the Buckeyes are doing now.
The other part of this, for me, is the evolution of college football, and that it used to be a popularity contest to get in. You needed style points if you had the same record as somebody else. And whether it was the computers that figured it out or whether it's like human beings in a room deciding if you are great or not or better than another very good team. And I think now with the playoff and if you have a certain record you're getting in, and I'm not saying that style points won't help you with a bye. They might. It might help you, but you still have to get into your conference championship and win that to try to get that bye. So to me, the fact that he's not coaching for a popularity contest anymore is huge because he knows most Saturdays he will have more talent than the other team from top to bottom. He is now becoming, he was asked a question today. I don't think it was just a throwaway. It was like, when did you know you were ready kind of to be able to lead this program, this team? And you know what? He answered it funny. It was actually a great quote. He's like, I don't know. You never know when you're ready to buy your first house or have your first kid. You just kind of fall into it. But my feeling is now that he's won a national title and he's up there with Tress and Urban, I do feel like now he can fall back into, I don't need to go for it. My team knows I'm confident in them.
Yep.
I don't need to try to win them over by being the super aggressive coach when I don't have to be. He saw Julian Sain get tripped up at the goal line. He went for it early. All right? He went for it early, didn't get it. He missed the guy in the flat, right? He was open. And then he got tripped. Like, he's got a young quarterback. You don't think Ryan Day has a good handle on his relationship with Julian Sain by not going for it on 4th and 3 down in the closed end of the shoe against the Bobcats? He must have, because he's got to be thinking, okay, if I don't go for it and I take this ball out of Julian's hands and I kick a field goal, how will that make him feel? Well, he did it, so he must know.
Yeah.
And they must have a great relationship. This goes back to, like, now that he's won, he has full power in what he wants to be. You love golf, I love golf. This is a guy who goes for it all the time and never wins. And then once he wins, guess what he's allowed to do next? Lay up. He's allowed to do it because everyone is not hammering him like, I can't believe this guy won't go for it. I can't believe he won't play aggressive. He can't win. He's afraid to win. Ryan Day's already won. So now what he can do? It's the whole Bull Durham. You know what? You win 20 in the show, you can let fungus grow on your shower shoes. And the press will think you're colorful. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. But I think early on, he was in that mindset of, I've got all this talent. Now, it hurt him in the Michigan game, as we talked about. It hurt him mentally for what my theory was that he was more into how that game is won all the time instead of letting it go. And then when he lost it and he had the kind of throw out the playbook moment against Tennessee and say, because the biggest regret is regret that you didn't go for it. And I think in the Tennessee game, 26 degrees, wind chill, here we go. They don't expect us to wing the ball around. Let's start it with that and let Will Howard throw it because we're going to go down swinging.
Yeah.
We're going down swinging because what happened in the Michigan game will never happen again. At least that's what his mindset is. Now we'll see when they play Michigan again on the road. But I heard in that press conference today, which was, 20, 25 minutes, there was a lot of cliche. There was a lot of, all the RBs will touch the ball and, they're a great team and this is going to be a big test and all that. But there were moments in that press conference where Ryan Day shows you his personality and what he's become. And I think it's very cool. And I think I've said it on the show before. I think he's an easy guy to root for, but that's different than obviously he has to win the Michigan game. But I heard it today with him because he emphatically said, win the game, period. I've got a young team. I want him to experience things. Like I was talking last week in the OU game, in early fourth, they got the dagger. I think it was one-on-one for Tate, and he scored a touchdown. I think it was on second down or whatever. But there are times in that game where he was like, why shouldn't he get his kicker some work if he can? Because that kicker, he may need that kicker at some point. So sometimes not going for it isn't a weakness. It's I have other things, other priorities to think about. Winning a game, number one. Number two, let me see how my special teams handles this. Like, there's other moments, and I'm watching it. I think we're watching it unfold now post-national title.
Yeah. Everything you brought up is intriguing there, right? Like, I just feel like there are so many different factors that play into what we're seeing from Ryan Day and who he's become. I found, your point about the expanded playoff to be pretty interesting there. I think that definitely plays a factor. It's more about winning games now than it is about style points because if Ohio State's a 1-loss, a 2-loss team, they're going to get into the playoff. It's not like, say you are Illinois now, who's lost a game, and maybe they lose to Ohio State. They're a 2-loss team when it comes down to it, maybe even 3-loss. If they want to be one of those teams that gets in at the very end, they're going to need style points.
Because they're not Notre Dame.
Right.
So their logo and their brand is not Notre Dame. Notre Dame has a nothing schedule. Illinois has a chance to show something still. But that's the difference, is the branding. Illinois may feel like we can't just – I know he's a big ND guy. He probably thinks that they can win out and get in because they're Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. He does.
Yeah, he does. But Illinois, I think, may have to – do it a little differently at times.
Well, I mean, they got smoked, too. So there's another factor that they need style points. I don't know if the Buckeyes will ever need style points again unless we see a dip in the program, right? And they become one of these, I don't want to say even middle of the pack Big Ten teams, but not the elite, the upper echelon of the Big Ten. I just don't see that ever happening.
Illinois' got one chance probably to get in, and that's beating Ohio State. That's probably their only chance. I said on Friday, we're doing the show Friday, and I said, if you're a Buckeye fan, do you want Illinois to win or lose? And because if they win and they're like legit, it's a little weirder. But if they lose and they're gettable, you may be more confident. But the fact that they lost and the way they lost to Indiana now makes Illinois the trap game. It wasn't the trap game in my mind when they were top 10. And certainly if they would have beaten Indiana, they could be top 5 by the time Ohio State gets there. Then, of course, it's not a trap game. Now the weird part is Illinois knows their whole hype is attached to the Ohio State game. That's all they have. Well, they have USC. I don't think USC is going to get them in.
It's funny you brought that up. So looking at it now, currently ranked teams, it's USC next week, which is at home. And then a couple weeks after that, it's Ohio State, and then it's a bunch of unranked Big Ten teams. So my question is, Notre Dame takes precedent over Illinois, correct? Because you're going to have we're going to get to the point, and I know that
not if Illinois beats Ohio State.
No, but if they're both 10-2. Because look, there are too many teams in this playoff because it's going to get to the point where we're debating between teams we don't even like, and I'm just trying to make sure that at some point we get to the conversation where people are forced to like Notre Dame because they don't like anybody else either.
You know what Illinois needs to even counter that if they don't beat Ohio State is they need to push them to the fourth. They need to make that
Make it a
close.
game?
Yes, because what do you have? You have close losses against good teams. They need at least one. They, like Dylan said, they got their doors blown off at Indiana. I mean, annihilated. And so if they don't at least show something, they got to beat USC and take Ohio State to the wire and then win out and be
Honestly,
a two-loss team.
Because we're getting to the point, and if they do go 10-2, and this is an if, maybe they lose a game that they shouldn't, but if they finish out 10-2 and we're talking about, all right, is Illinois 11 or 12, or are they 13 or 14? Are they in or are they out? I promise you they are going to have the worst loss out of anybody in contention for the college football playoffs.
More of a trap game. This one coming up against Washington, an unranked Washington team on the road, Ohio State's first trip, or Illinois in Champaign October 11th, now that they look like a shell of what people thought they would be.
I would still say that Illinois game. I do think now that it's kind of an interesting way that you've posed it earlier in talking about going on the road, because, you know, now that Illinois has lost, they're desperate, they're dangerous. I think that makes this game against Washington that much more important to play on the road and make sure that you can handle an environment like that. I'm kind of with you in that before that, it's like, okay, you play your schedule, you feel confident about yourself, you go to Illinois and you see what happens, you probably win the game. To me, it just puts a little bit more importance. Hey, let's go on the road and make sure everything is good. Make sure all the operation is good. Special teams, you know, the 2-minute drill, all of this stuff. Make sure all this stuff is good at Washington, because we're going to be playing a wounded team in Illinois in a couple weeks that it just makes them that much more dangerous. Like, I don't think... Listen, Illinois got blown out. I think Fernando Mendoza had 2 incompletions and threw 5 touchdowns. Like that's
his weapons really were great that night too.
That's not good for Illinois. But do I think Illinois is a bad football team? No. Do I still think they're dangerous? Absolutely, yes. And this is an Ohio State team that's relatively untested on the road going in. So for me, that makes it so much more important against Washington. Let's make sure we are dialed in on the road, because the next one on the road is going to be a team that's desperate and wants to beat us.
Illinois had an injury. Xavier Scott was out. Their DB, he's having a procedure. Like they had a targeting call early, and then it just snowballed on them. But my point about Illinois is this. Ohio State's going to get everybody's best, especially if they stay number one. Even if they weren't number one, they'd get everybody's best. There's a difference between expecting Illinois' best because you're number one than expecting their best because it's the only thing that saves their season.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference to me. Illinois, if Illinois was undefeated, beat Indiana, and they would always give Ohio State their best because they'd be top 5. They have to live up to that. They have a great season going. Now I think they will come back and say there's only one way that we achieve what we wanted to, and that's to beat Ohio State. I think Illinois is the new trap game.
And I think, Dylan, that's a good point, because my takeaway from that game, I refuse to believe that Indiana is that much more talented than Illinois. My takeaway from that is Kurt Cignetti had his guys ready to go and Brett Bielema didn't. So it's not that Illinois can't be good. And you got to think, with Ohio State going to Champaign, that's probably going to be the biggest game that they had there in like 10 to 15 years. So Brett Bielema's got to figure that out to get it even close.
Has a show ever been done on this station that didn't take a commercial in 3 hours? Because I'm willing to try. We'd get fired for it, but I'm willing to keep going.
I don't think it's happening.
Forget it. He's rolling. We'll come back. Fool's Paradise is next. And the one guy I believe you have to kind of burn your number one waiver claim on now. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
If you're itching for a new vehicle this fall, you have to go see my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Hey, it's Anthony. I drive an awesome Ridgeline, and you can drive home the rugged 25 Ridgeline Sport with 0% APR or lease for as low as $299 a month. Or go for the looks and reliability of a 2025 Honda Accord LX, just 3.99% APR, or lease it from only $199 a month. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, and GermainHondaofDublin.com.
At High Bank Distillery, they believe every pour should tell a story. Their Whiskey War spirits tell the story of prohibition in every sip and was awarded the best blended whiskey in America 3 years running. Enjoy High Bank's nationally recognized spirits distilled right here in Ohio. Drink the best. Forget the rest. Learn more at highbankdistillery.com.
What John Smiley, Chairman and CEO, wants you to know about First Bank of Central Ohio.
Our competitive advantage is the number of years we've been in Central Ohio and the fact that we're able to make decisions here locally that make sense for the client. At the end of the day, it's the ability for us to say, okay, what can we do to make your banking easier for you?
Experience what it's like to be first at fbcentralohio.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good. Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, save on new 2025 Sonatas with 0% financing for 60 months. 0% while supplies last. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
Ohio's teachers are dedicated to providing our kids with the world-class education they need to become strong, critical thinkers and future leaders. And that means having honest, age-appropriate conversations about the tough subjects. We all need to stand up for honesty in education and academic freedom. Our students deserve nothing less.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Got a teen athlete? Then you know putting in the hours is all part of the game. But did you know the same goes for learning how to drive? Because just like playing a sport, learning to drive takes practice. The only difference is the stakes are even higher. 50 hours of practice time driving with you? Worth every minute. Gear up at teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
Fox Tonight is the place for uncovering mysteries and memories.
I had a car accident. I lost 8 years of my life.
First, it's the season premiere of Murder in a Small Town.
Your success rate in solving major crimes is superb.
Surprises the heck out of me too sometimes. Then, it's the season premiere of the smash hit, Doc.
You're having memories? They're just weird flashes. I need my life back. I will do whatever it takes.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
In Central Ohio, there are so many issues that develop during the day. Issues that affect you and your communities.
Our goal is to make a difference for you by getting you the answers you deserve.
We're on your side to find solutions.
To make sure you know first before the weather affects you.
More than 4,000.
Governor Mike DeWine announcing that both
tonight with this rain moving.
It starts with Central Ohio's only 10 p.m. newscast, Fox 28 News at 10.
Followed by ABC 6 News at 11. Always on your side.
Hey Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
Other stations in town have started using AI voices. It's because they're cheap and they think you're stupid. Well, we may think you're stupid, but we don't think you're cheap, damn it. We're live and local with real people. The Fan, Ohio's real human destination.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Let's scratch that fantasy football itch. It's Rothman and Ice's Fool's Paradise.
All right, full disclosure. I said yesterday that I ran into Jonathan Taylor this weekend, personally, in fantasy.
Oh, I thought you were about to get gonged for that.
No. He knows. He senses. He's got one hand on the gong at all times. Ooh, be careful what you say there, Rothman.
I was going to say that's a
one hand on the gong.
That's a clip
he
right
said.
there.
So I ran to John Taylor, my week's over. And then the unthinkable happens. I have the Philly defense. Now, if you bet on the Rams this week, money line or have them with the points, you're cashing the ticket. You're at the buffet. It's over. They're lining up for a field goal. You don't care whether it blocks, whether it misses. You don't care what. You don't care whether they fumble the snap. Whatever happens, your toes are still tapping. Mike Damone. But you get a 300-pounder blocking and running it back for a touchdown. Not only do the Rams lose, they don't even cover. I have the Philly defense. So I get a block and a touchdown. So I still need 20. I need 23.5 points from Jahmyr Gibbs. That's multiple touchdowns, probably 3 of them. And guess who I have on my bench? David Montgomery.
Oh, no.
Because I don't play them together right now because I have Achane and who's my other great? James Cook. So
what a room.
Well, I went RB hero to start my draft,
Gotcha.
and I'm ready to Achane.
Yeah.
I'm ready to play Monty and Gibbs at the same time like I did years ago with Ingram and Kamara. But anyway, so I'm about to vomit because I see what Monty's doing, and it's unbelievable. And I'm not looking at fantasy. I don't watch when I'm down 23.5 points. I'm not watching fantasy. I'm not watching it live.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head, I'm trying to calculate, am I in it or not? And he scores 2 touchdowns, and the Lions get close at the end, and then I think they had a penalty or something pushed them back before Monty had that one at the end also. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to come close, but I'm going to be, 5-7 points back because I thought I needed 3 touchdowns. I didn't look. I didn't look before I went to bed. I didn't look when I got up. I got in here, and to set up for the segment on fantasy, I had to look to see where our standings are. And I click on the fan standings, and the balloons start to fly. You get that little Yahoo celebration. And I took down CB, not that one, our former producer, CB. I got 24-40 and beat him by a point, 1.08.
PPR, half PPR?
Half PPR.
Yeah, that's what got it done for you with Gibbs.
I beat him 115.82 to 114.74. And let me tell you, I looked at TLC and I said, I got a mood lifter for you. Like my mood, it's weird how fantasy can do that. And I went from, hey, it's an okay day to just roll it out, man. Drop the balloons. I'm buying the drinks. And this isn't a championship. This is just 1 week. But it was a very unlikely victory. I know you guys play fantasy over there at CBJ. The players play, you play.
Yeah.
You're into it.
Oh, yeah, I love fantasy football. I'm in 3 leagues right now. Unfortunately, ran into the Vikings defense in one of my leagues. They put up 30 and I lost by 30.
Did you make it in a dynasty league this year?
So I'm doing a few different things. Unfortunately, no dynasty league yet, which I really want to try. You are
willing to try.
Oh, I would love to. Yeah, I'm definitely into that. My long-term... There you go. My long-term league that I play in is a 2-quarterback league, which is a nice wrinkle. I'm in a vampire league this year, which means 9 teams draft, 1 team does not. He picks up the scraps after the draft. If he beats you head-to-head, he can steal one of your players. So... I am in one of those
what is this,
leagues.
The pink elephant of fantasy games?
Yes.
All right.
So I'm in one of those, and then I'm in a league, the Blue Jackets league that I'm in this year. A lot of controversy because it is a 2-win or 2-loss per week league, and we didn't quite know about it until it started happening. So you win your head-to-head matchup or you lose your head-to-head matchup. Then if you were in the top half of points getters in the league, you get an extra win. If you were in the bottom half of points getters in the league, you get an extra loss. So
I've always wanted to try that.
It
where
sucks.
it's like we're
always
where it's like
wanted
golf.
to try
we're
that.
one giant. There we go.
There's another drop king.
You never know.
You better drop king yourself there.
So I've
always wanted to try that.
Last week I had not won head-to-head yet, but I was 1-3. I won this week, and I was in the top half of scorers. Nice. So I am 3-3 through 3 weeks of the season. I'm not a fan of it.
Oh, man, I used to get that treatment on the show.
Yeah, once in the 80s, but I did not enjoy it.
I'm willing to try.
I'll try that with... Never mind.
Here's the league. Maddie's Ravens lose last night. Remember, I think he can win fantasy and reality this year, but reality took a hit last night. Reality bites. Maddie, mover of chains, first place in the fan league, 3-0.
Attaboy.
The new taking you to Skull. My team, second place. Most points, though. Give me an asterisk. So Maddie and I, 1-2 in the Fan Football League through 3 weeks. Trey Benson, burn your priority. I don't know everybody's roster that's listening, but I think it's time. Next man up. Benson has top 15 return. I think Trey Benson would be the burn. If you have the number one priority with James Conner, I mean, this is the year of the injury already with Najee Harris out. Well, James Conner was a fairly big one. Did Matty have Conner? He might.
I don't know.
He might.
Benson was already a nice piece pre-injury. I think he led the team in carries and rushing yards week 1, took a back seat week 2, but now he's in there. I'm in a very deep league, that 2-quarterback league, so I already have Benson on the roster, which is nice.
Matty doesn't start James Conner because he has Derrick Henry and he has Jordan Mason. So
Derrick Henry was terrible last night.
You know, there are fumbles and there are fumbles. That wasn't a fumble. It was a great play by defense.
He got caught from behind, yeah.
The ball got punched out from behind. That's not loosey-goosey, bobbled the ball, couldn't handle the pitch. It's on his stats, and it's horrible. It's a time of game where you can't. But that's a blind side. I mean, how rare is it that a guy gets into the backfield,
circles back around to his own spot, basically,
while the runner's still in the backfield? Yeah. You've seen guys get chased down and get it punched out, but not in the backfield like that. And so, but it sucked for him, and certainly Derek's still a touchdown god. So that's what I would say. I would think with the injury, I would say go for Trey Benson this week.
And if you have Amarion Hampton, you got lucky as it is.
Yeah, but he was drafted fairly high. He was not that was not just a handcuff. That was one of the people.
He was priority over Najee Harris, I feel like, in fantasy.
Well, the first week of the season, I remember watching the Chiefs-Chargers game in Brazil week 1, and they were kind of splitting snaps.
He didn't do anything. Yeah. I was like, what the heck? He looks good, though, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
you knew that was going to take time.
Yeah.
Just
but
like Travion.
That process got expedited.
All right, we'll come back, top of the hour, Sports Center update here. And how many top 50 fantasy hockey players do we really have on this squad here in C-Bus? And I've got a question for you on whether I'll reach for this guy. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvis weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, the Fan.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we helped Tom.
Hi, my name's Tom. I've been a patient at Tri-State Men's Health, and I'm being treated for low testosterone. I didn't really notice the issue of just the energy and feeling slow in the middle of the day and waking up feeling as if I hadn't even gone to bed. When I walked into Tri-State Men's Health, I was extremely impressed from the get-go with the results of the treatment. I wake up in the morning now with clarity. I have had more energy in working out. I definitely have increased my strength. I would say that if there are men out there who experience some of the same problems that I did with inability to sleep well and waking up without feeling refreshed and having your energy flagging throughout the day, go see Tri-State Men's Health. It's changed my life, and it'll change yours too.
Thanks, Tom. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Hey, Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions. And yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years, and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL, 614-962-7355, or selltohometeam.com.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this. Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, so you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, spreads, totals, or player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet just $5. It's the only betting app I use. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
Bobcat Enterprises says thank you for your support as they celebrate 50 years of serving the construction industry. Established in 1975 in Cincinnati, Bobcat Enterprises has expanded to 9 stores to meet you where you are in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Find equipment for any construction project, including compact track loaders and excavators. Plus, Bobcat Enterprises rents compact equipment and attachments. Find current specials and locations at bobcatent.com or follow Bobcat Enterprises Inc. on Facebook. Bobcat Enterprises, 50 years working for you.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Ohio State continues to prepare for its Big Ten opener at Washington Saturday at 3:30. Buckeyes lead the all-time series 9-3. Today on 3's Chris Lowe reporting Oklahoma State has fired head coach Mike Gundy after 21 seasons. Cowboys are 1-2 with losses to Oregon and Tulsa. NFL Giants are benching quarterback Russell Wilson for first-round pick Jackson Dart in Sunday's game versus the Chargers. Baseball tonight, Cincinnati Reds welcome the Pittsburgh Pirates at 6:40. Reds own the third NL wildcard spot. Cleveland Guardians host the Detroit Tigers at 6:40, trailing the Tigers by 1 game in the AL Central. In Cincy, Johan Oviedo starts for Pittsburgh against Brady Singer. In Cleveland, Tarek Skubal faces Cleveland's Gavin Williams. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice on 97.1 The Fan.
Hour number 2, Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Dylan Tyre, CBJ broadcaster with us, TLC at the controls. We do have some breaking news with I'm a Man, I'm 40. Mike Gundy is gone, according to reports from Oklahoma State. This comes from Chris Lowe, who's an On3 senior college football reporter. I'm going to trust him on this. And it looks like Pete Thamel is in on it now. And now we are talking about, first of all, a guy that at Oklahoma State, because I want to do this, I want to do him right here. Most wins, most bowls, most bowl wins, most top 10 finishes. It goes on and on. Like this is massive. This is a guy who's been very, very successful.
Holy cow. September 22nd. So yesterday, 2007 was I'm a Man, I'm 40. I mean,
that's right.
Amazing.
It almost feels.
Did you already say that as I was half listening, half researching?
No, I didn't give the anniversary part.
Okay.
That was good information.
Woo.
Well done.
Very proud of you. That's very nice.
It was.
Thank you.
So they lost to Tulsa. Is that right?
I believe so.
Okay.
That's a bad loss. Man, oh, man.
So that's the one that puts you in the coffin, right? The embarrassment to Oregon. That didn't do it. I mean, embarrasses, you don't want to ever get embarrassed, but so they were 3-9 last year. Like, what were they leaning on here? You couldn't just say, oh, he's had an off year. I mean, now it's, and so he was in a really tough spot about his fate. And even in the Oregon matchup, like, oh, by the way, you know what else? I just forgot. He took a jab he took from Lanning. They were going at it, right? With the NIL stuff.
7 million versus 40 or something like that.
He was trying to gloss over the embarrassing loss with, we don't have the NIL to do it. Here's the quote. I think Oregon spent close to $40 million last year. That was 1 year. He goes, now I might be off a few million, but OSU had spent around $7 million on their own team over the past 3 years. I wouldn't know if that's true or not. They would.
I'm looking at their schedule right now, going back to last year. Oklahoma State, 2 wins, including their opener this year, going back to September 14th of last season.
It just goes to show you that all things can come to an end. Like it happens. The coaches are hired to be fired. 21 years? Like, it's a hell of a run. It really is. He built Oklahoma State into an absolute powerhouse. They were a really tough team, a tough program.
Oh, yeah. Top 25 team.
You know what's interesting to me is that he had the NIL argument. I would never expect them to be on the wrong side of the NIL argument. We have watched now in the last couple of years, Dylan, teams that would not normally be in these rankings, and teams that you think would be automatics. I mean, even Ohio State, it took them a little bit to come around on it.
Are you thinking of Texas Tech right now?
I'm thinking of Indiana.
Oh, okay.
And Tech as well.
Yeah, because for me, like in my mind, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, they were in that kind of Gundy prime time. They were very similar teams, right? Like the Justin Blackmans, the Michael Crabtrees, the quarterbacks throwing for all the yards and all the touchdowns. They were kind of those teams that were ranked 15 to 25 in there. So for whatever reason, I see Oklahoma State and Texas Tech very similarly, and you're seeing Texas Tech now go in one direction with the NIL, and obviously Oklahoma State going in the wrong direction.
I also thought it was weird, and Indiana knows what they're doing, when they gave Cignetti the extension right out of the gate, playoff year. Like they gave it right to him. This is going to be your last job. And they've leaned into all of it. And they realize that he's changed the culture, and they've given money, and he's gotten players, and he's coaching them up, and the culture's great. You know what I thought was going to save Gundy? This is the biggest irony to me, is that he complained about their lack of NIL spending, yet it's going to cost them $15 million to boot him out. So think about that. We won't spend money to get you players, but we'll damn sure spend enough millions to fire you. If anything was going to save him, it was his buyout.
Yeah.
And so we're cheap, but we're not cheap enough to say goodbye to you. Like, that's weird. Like, the university responded, they reshaped his contract. All right, they tweaked his salary by $1 million. So he's under $7 million, but $15 million buyout if fired without cause after this or next.
Does a lack of wins count as cause?
Yeah, right. Not contractually, I doubt it.
I said the thing to AR during the break too, and we heard the news. Like, if you're, he said, remember when Ollie Gordon got the DUI last season, and Mike Gundy said, "I've done that 1,000 times and never been caught."
Oh yeah,
that was not a great comment. That's what they call honest to a fault. Like, you've done it, and we've all done it. Like, yes,
like, not just saying I've done it. I've done that 1,000 times.
He was trying to. I think you had that. You played that soundbite. I think we had that presser. I think what he was doing was trying to defend his player and humanize him. And it's the wrong way to go.
And he sounded like he didn't know the law. He's like, I didn't know you couldn't do that.
You can't just dilute that part of it. You just can't. You have to. Defending him for being a good guy who made a horrible mistake is where it's cut and done. This is a good kid. He made a bad mistake. He's going to learn from it. There will be consequences, but I'm not throwing him out because I know what he's about, and he made a horrible mistake. That's what you go to the podium with, not the, we've all done it, so how bad can it be?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's awful. And you're right. I think that was smart of you to bring that up because I think it's part of it. He runs hot, man. He's for the same reason you hired him. You probably are ready to say goodbye to him because I think they valued him and his influence over this program for 20 years. And now his influence over the program has taken a hit. He's dodging more bullets than he's winning games. whether it's off the field with players or his own or taking shots at other programs publicly. I know his people can't love that.
58 years old. Do we see him continuing on in college football?
I would think so.
No.
Why?
You don't think so?
Why not?
I don't think so, because I don't think
anyone wants to.
Unless he wants to be somebody's assistant.
Not a $10 million a year coach.
No, but what I'm saying is, well, what do you mean?
I don't think
Are you saying
have
that he
to
needs
pay.
money?
No. What I'm saying is, this isn't. Oh, we want Urban Meyer. Do you think we can get him for $6 million?
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Well,
this is Mike Gundy.
No. Well, my thing is, I say that having been of the mindset in recent years, the only reason he was still at Oklahoma State is just because he's been there forever. So I think
only head coaching job.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I would have thought that Oklahoma State shouldn't have wanted him and probably just wanted him there for like history purposes and legacy and all that.
Also that buyout.
Because he played there.
That as well.
The other thing, and I'm glad you brought the historic part up. This is a guy who played there, played quarterback. Like, this is... there's something there. It's harder to fire guys that are...
That's fair.
Are alum like that. And
Yeah,
who's been a
but-
part of a program for a long time.
That's been the calling card of him, though. Like, not wins. When's the last time Oklahoma... You brought up Justin Blackman. They were in the top 4 that year. I can't think of any time they've gotten close since then. So the reason that he lasted as long as he did was not primarily because of on-field success, which makes me think that other schools wouldn't be clamoring for Mike Gundy to be their head coach either.
Look up his 2021 year.
Okay, well, listen, 2023, they went 10-4.
Yeah, but look up 20.
Okay.
I thought he had a pretty good year.
2021, they went 12-2.
And then last
Yeah.
year, they didn't win a single Big 12 game.
They went 3-9 last year and are off to a 1-2 start last year.
That's it. That's the reason.
By the way,
like I said, 2 wins
He beat
since September
Texas in a bowl
14th.
game last year. Or 2 years ago.
Really?
I think so.
They won the Fiesta Bowl in 2021. 2023, they won the Texas Bowl.
Oh, who did they beat there? A&M. I think they beat A&M. Sorry, had the wrong text.
By the way, I think I found it.
I'm not justifying what all he did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life, and I, it's just fine. So I got lucky.
Huh?
People get lucky. Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better.
I don't think he meant it as, so that's fine. I think that was just a crutch to get him to the next sentence. Play it again for me.
Oh, shoot. I just got rid of it. Oh, no, here. I can just drag it. Here we go. And scene.
Drag and drop.
I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life, and I, it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better.
So when he said, and it was just fine, he probably meant, and no one got hurt, and there was no legal infraction.
Yeah, the old...
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Yeah, he went with the... A lot of people don't get caught. He did. Let's shine a little spotlight on all the people out there, including me, that have done exactly what he's done and didn't get caught. So he was trying to make this look like this wasn't a rare thing, and a kid... it wasn't great. He talked himself into a little bit of a problem there. I just looked up the story. He was caught speeding, so he was going 80, looks like 83 and a 65. They smelled alcohol on Ollie Gordon. He admitted he had an open bottle. Wow.
Oh, that's a problem.
Vodka and tequila they were found half empty. Gordon initially refused a sobriety test. Okay, so he's arrested. That's the second you refuse, you're...
Yeah.
Okay. They either can do the field sobriety right there and dispel their concerns and pass that, or you could probably going to get handcuffed anyway if you don't. And it's not really a pass-fail. It's a totality of the circumstances. Can you tell? I'm on top of this stuff.
I was about to say.
Not because I've been involved.
I was about to say, are you speaking from experience? Because you kind of have this thing nailed down.
I'm speaking from a guy that watches a lot of body cam. And
you watch a lot of cops?
Definitely wanted to be a cop at one point. He was arrested on complaint of DUI, transport of the open container. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Oh, here's the ask the tough question, the presser. Did he ever take a breath test?
Did he ever take a breath test?
I never saw one. Oh, he did. My bad. He did. Blood alcohol of 0.11, and the second sample was 0.10. Limit there is 0.08.
Yeah.
All right. So
we've gone down a tremendous rabbit hole right
we
here.
really have. All right. Gundy is out.
Ollie Gordon aged poorly too, by the way, as did Mike Gundy.
Ollie Gordon was getting like some Heisman votes last season.
But you know who aged well is Chuba Hubbard. He was he's like a 4th-round draft pick, and he's starting for the Panthers.
Didn't Ollie win the Doak Walker?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he won.
2 years prior, I think.
His sophomore year. So he wasn't eligible for the draft.
Yeah.
Yes.
He should have Maurice Claretted that day.
All right, we're going to come back. Jerry Jones, not ready to reminisce. I'll tell you next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6-packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
For years, you've been hearing us talk about the Newman Roofing difference, delivering nothing short of an excellent customer experience each and every single time, from the first phone call to the end of your project. But don't take our word for it. Take a listen to our friend John and his Newman Roofing experience.
Well, the first thing that drew me to Newman Roofing is the extraordinary Google score of 5.0. That was the first indication to me that this was going to be a good experience. Overall, the experience with Newman Roofing was wonderful. When I came home, the job was completely finished. The crew had cleaned up and left. I wouldn't have known that they were there.
What star rating would you give Newman Roofing on Google?
I would, without hesitation, award Newman Roofing a 5-star rating on Google.
Any advice for those looking for a new roof, John?
Once you have contact with Newman Roofing, you'll understand why everybody's giving them a 5-point rating.
Do what John did and schedule your free roof or siding consultation with Newman Roofing. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online today at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
If you're itching for a new vehicle this fall, you have to go see my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Hey, it's Anthony. I drive an awesome Ridgeline, and you can drive home the rugged 25 Ridgeline Sport with 0% APR or lease for as low as $299 a month. Or go for the looks and reliability of a 2025 Honda Accord LX, just 3.99% APR or lease it from only $199 a month. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, and GermainHondaofDublin.com.
One of the things that I had decided when I started the company was we were going to build the best window possible. We were going to give the best service possible, and I think we've accomplished that. Our reputation is built on taking care of people and building a great window and then taking care of it afterwards. It's just a darn good window.
See for yourself. Visit RossatiWindows.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law. You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, The game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, we'll see more of an isolated chance of showers and thunderstorms, although we'll have some clouds to start. Expect a little bit of sunshine mixing in with those clouds throughout the day today. Daytime highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. For tonight, we start off dry with overnight lows in the 60s, but chances of rain develop after midnight and could see some thunderstorms going into the Wednesday morning commute. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony sometimes likes to sit and stare at his bundle of Emmy Awards. Unfortunately, it's through the glass of the pawn shop. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Truth. Biggest upset of the commercial break is Dylan Tyre of the Blue Jackets not playing fantasy hockey. He's talking about all these Dynasty and Buffy the Vampire Slayer leagues and whatever else he's in, and you're not playing fantasy hockey, and I have all this fantasy hockey that I want to talk about, and now you're out.
No, we can still talk fantasy hockey. I'm in on the NHL, obviously, and everything, but it's tough for me to go night to night with fantasy hockey when I'm working on the Blue Jackets. I'm also not even sure I'm allowed to play fantasy hockey.
I was about to say, is that a conflict of interest at all?
You mean just like a league that doesn't do money?
I think I might be able to do that.
That may not interest you.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Fitzsimmons can bet on college football, so he probably...
That's right. Okay, good for you for thinking about that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Talking to the lawyers first.
Yeah, I got to stop by our legal department. Maybe I'll get in your league otherwise.
He said he doesn't have time, TLC. And I'm like, that's what the bathroom's for.
Well, that's my fantasy football time.
Yeah, that's his office. All right, so I don't want to admit this too loud because Zach knows that I love him, and I don't think I'm going to reach for Zach Werenski this year. And I think, and I'm not saying
knows that I love him. Oh, my.
Well, you know what I mean.
Why?
He's Hockey and Hounds,
there
man.
It is.
He's our guy.
No, why are you not going to reach for him?
Because I feel like the 82-point explosion is a ceiling. I'm not saying he can't get to it.
What if I told you?
I think I'm going to do that. I think I do that. I wasn't a math major, but I think a point per game is about right.
What if I told you the Athletic, though, pending a healthy season, has him projected for about 75 points this year?
Okay. So if Fantilli and Marchie keep going up, then the assists are going to be there.
Mm-hmm. He's always going to score 15
He's a power
goals.
play god because he's always going to be quarterback in that thing. And a point per game defenseman. He's had some battles with health.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't say I was going to draft him. I said I don't know if I'm going to reach for him. And I think to get him, I might have to grab him in the top 25. All of overall.
Coming around on the second round pick? Is that a reach for you or no?
It's a semi-reach unless I'm forced to take Makar in the first round.
How many defensemen do you get?
4.
I would take Zach coming around in the second round for sure. He's definitely a top 5 defenseman in the NHL fantasy-wise.
Well, would you take him over... You wouldn't take him over Quinn Hughes?
No, I would take Quinn Hughes. I would take...
Bouchard?
No, I would take
Dahlin?
Zach. No, I would take Zach over Rasmus Dahlin.
Okay.
We're talking fantasy only here, people.
That's right.
So.
That's right. You're going to get yourself into trouble. I just said I wouldn't reach for him, and now you're not drafting him either.
No, I'm saying I would draft Zach. I would draft Zach over Rasmus Dahlin over Evan Bouchard. The only 2 players I probably wouldn't draft Zach over, we're talking defensemen, are Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes.
Yeah.
And even so, Zach and Quinn are I would say right there up against each other.
I do like obviously drafting Blue Jackets because it makes it more fun to track them during the season. Fantilli, I may reach on.
I think that's a fun one. I think that's fun. I wouldn't be afraid to reach on Marchenko either. I mean, I don't think another 30-goal, 40-point season is out of the question. Igor Chinakhov is probably a fun guy to stash on your roster too, I would think.
Back in good graces.
Yeah, I mean, Chinny's going to get an opportunity to play in the top 6 for the Blue Jackets, it looks like. And I've always said a healthy Yegor Chinakhov with some time to get comfy is a 30-goal guy for sure. I would not be surprised to see him score 40 goals in a season. He's that talented.
Right now, the toughest question of all. Those were easy.
Okay.
All right. And I could, if I have KJ late, that's fine too.
Oh, I love that.
Monahan's sneaky if he stays healthy. He's a sneaky guy. Boone's always, and we're in a banger league anyway, so I need hits and all that. But the toughest question that I would be able to ask is Jet Greaves.
Do it.
Yeah, I think so.
Do it.
I mean, this dude was over the moon at the end of the year. What was he? He was 11 games, 7-2-2, a 1.91 goals against, 938 save percentage.
And
these numbers are just dancing in my head.
That's crazy that you can pull that. But no, you're right about that for last season, 7-2-2. All those were correct, 2 shutouts. When he won
best glove in the biz.
Yeah, when he won all those games at the end of the year, that's what really
he won people their fantasy championships. If you were streaming Jet Greaves last year at the end, I think he took a lot of people to a title.
I love that.
I don't think you have to reach for him either, because there's a play here where Elvis has a fire lit under him again, and he's not going to want to give that up lightly.
He's probably going to be like the Trey Benson of fantasy hockey this year.
Do I have to handcuff my goalie?
In that some people are writing some things. The Athletic came out with a piece last week highlighting 10 possible breakout players in the NHL this season, and Jet Greaves was one of them. So if the other owners in your fantasy league are paying attention to what's going on around the NHL, they might be on to Jet Greaves, but I would say he's a nice guy to stash as well.
So that's it. If you're playing in a savvy fantasy league, Greaves will be on their radar. And I would bump him into the top 175 overall if he's the guy this year.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But if you're waiting on goalie, which I have in the past, and just grab skaters and all that, I would be looking at him. All right, so I'll reach on Fantilli. I'll take Zach if he falls in my lap, which he might. And because I think a lot of people may be thinking what I'm thinking, which is don't draft Zach right after he had 82. Like, even though that'd be stupid to think that way, because like you said, his floor is as high as anybody's.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be scared to draft Zach Werenski. He's a top 5 defenseman in the NHL for sure. Another guy that I would say, keep your eyes peeled for Dmitry Voronkov this season. I think he looks a step faster in training camp this year, so that could be another guy that could draw first line minutes. Do you do penalty minutes in your league?
Not in this one, no.
Okay, I was going to say he could factor in there, but he looks like another guy that's primed for some power play time, 20, 25 goals.
I would love to get rid of plus minus in my league.
Oh yeah, that stinks.
It just stinks, man. It's all. But you know what it does? It offsets everybody just drafting anybody, no matter whether they're on a bad team or not. So if you're on a bad team, you're going to get hit with the minuses, and so it kind of offsets that a little bit. But no, we're goals, assists, power play points, plus minus. I mean, goal. We'll have wins, save percentage, goals against, shutouts are worth a category if you can grab a few of those along the year. And hits are big.
Matthew Olivier last year would have been valuable. Goals and hits.
You know who's great? Who's probably the most unsung all-around dude?
Brady
who
Tkachuk?
I had last year. No, way down on the
Kiefer Sherwood.
That's it.
Yeah,
you nailed it.
Led the NHL in hits last season.
Amazing that you got it. Not amazing you got it, but I'm just surprised because there are a lot of guys that can hit and can bang, but there aren't a lot of guys that can do what he can do other than that.
Columbus's own.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's right.
What he scored? Close to 20 goals last season?
Unbelievable for me last year.
Scored 19 goals last season, had 40 points, and he led the NHL in hits. I mean, that'll get it done. Yeah, that is a valuable
He will be on
fantasy
my
piece.
team again this year. We'll come back in 2 minutes. We have Tyvis Powell waiting. What were they power ranking this morning on T-Bone and Tyvis? I've heard some weird rumors. That's next. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Breaking Down the Browns with Tyvis Powell.
He's the baller from Bedford. The one and only Tyvis Powell with us now, celebrating a very unlikely Brownies victory. I had a vision, my man. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I said on the air, take it to the bank, they're winning the game. But I was not that scared of the Packers, and I wasn't scared of their weapons. The defense has kept you in every game, and that was about the most unlikely way to win, being down 10 in the final 4 minutes or whatever it was, and then have to block a field goal to do it, and then have your kicker, who is a guy that didn't come out clutch in week one, kick a 55-yarder. What is the headline for you coming out of that Packers win?
Honestly, is that defense still wins championships. It still exists. That's what I got out of that. I mean, I was so happy with the performance of that defensive line. Like, Myles Garrett has been special, and he was very special in that game. I know you see the clip of him beating the guy and the guy yelling to Jordan Love to run. But it was the other guys around him that was contributing. You know, the Mason Grahams, Malik Collins, who was the guy that I was very high on when they drafted him. Carson Schlesinger looks like the real deal to me. That defense is just unbelievable, man, and it's going to help them win a lot of games. Well, not a lot of games. They're going to win some games. That offense got to figure it out.
Tyvis, what is it about Mason Graham? Because, I feel like when he was drafted, maybe some Browns fans were disappointed it wasn't Travis Hunter or a quarterback real high, anything like that. I was like, guys, wait a second. This guy on the D-line alongside Myles Garrett is going to be really, really special. What's it about Mason Graham that has allowed him to really gel and be effective so quickly?
So I think that, one, the first part of it is that people were mad. They weren't mad at Mason Graham. They was mad at the fact that the offense was terrible last year and they wanted to score points. But everybody respected that Mason Graham was going to be a blue-chip player. I think they had like 5 blue-chip players in this past draft, and Mason Graham was one of them. So that was to be expected. Now, what makes him so good right now is he's really good at beating one-on-ones. Like, he's one of those guys that his hands, he's really good with his hands. And is, you think about Aaron Donald, how great Aaron Donald was. He was really good with hand placement, getting the hands off of him, doing a nice swim move, dips and rips and things like that. He's getting those one-on-ones because Miles forces teams to do one-on-ones, and he's doing a really good job of winning those one-on-one battles. The one thing that I was worried about when they drafted him was his pass rush. I knew he was really good in the run game because obviously he played against us and he stopped us really well in the run game. I was concerned about his passing moves, and so far he's really worked on those, and he's been really successful in his passing rush.
All right, T, I love what you said about the defense because that's keeping you in every game. And when you have a great defense, you're in every game. Where are you now on – because they're celebrating this victory, and I'm not saying you change anything right now, but the downfield passing or lack thereof, and I'm not saying you have a guy on the team that will do it better than Flacco, but right now, just looked up the stats on this. So Flacco has completed 14 of 38 of 10 air yards or more. His 37.6 passer rating on those throws is second lowest in the league among quarterbacks who have played 3 games. So, and I'm not saying you have all the weapons to make a change here, but where are you on the offense right now and trying to do something to be complimentary?
I think for Joe, the difference between 2 years ago and now is that Kevin is really in his head. And Kevin has to fall back a little bit on this because Kevin has been so, and not just Kevin, our whole entire coaching staff has been so big on taking care of the football. We have to take care of the football. So now, if you look at Baker, if you look at Deshaun, if you look at Joe, they all become check down Charlies. Where if you watch the tape, guys are wide open down the field. But for some odd reason, we're not getting the ball to him. Now, Joe's situation is, outside of them telling him to take care of the ball, be smart with the football, he's also got the offensive line thing. Same thing we said with Deshaun Watson last year. Why is he not throwing it down the field? Well, that offensive line is not good. They're not giving him the time. But then Jameis Winston comes in the game, and he's able to get the ball down the field. Why? Because he hasn't been in this system with Kevin to know, like, I need to be taking care of the ball. He's thinking about going big. I'm trying to get the yards. I'm trying to make the plays down the field. Joe Flacco, in the first year in the system, he was off the couch. He was playing with house money. He was not afraid to make those mistakes because he said, if I throw a pick, I'm going to throw 2 touchdowns to make up for the pick. Now it's very conservative play by him, and it's making the whole thing look bad. And I have to say, it has to go to the coach staff. I'm sorry to say that. I like Kevin, but something's going on. It's not ironic that Baker did it, Deshaun did it, and now Joe's doing the same thing. And every time we've always blamed it on the offensive line, but it's something about them playing very timid and very conservative that makes that offense look bad.
All right, well, the passing game might be a little bit of a mess right now. I think you have to like what you saw out of Quinshon Judkins against the Packers. 18 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown, 5.2 yards a carry. What is the usage, do you think, going to look like going forward? I'll say it. I was a little bit surprised to see Judkins dominate the carries that much. Dylan Sampson, I think, had, 16 carries combined the first 2 weeks and just 1 this past week against the Packers. So what's all this going to look like?
Yeah, right now, Quinshon looks like they're going to utilize him like he was Ezekiel Elliott when he was with the Cowboys. They're going to run the ball 30 times. Derrick Henry with the Titans. That's where we are right now because we can't pass the ball to save our lives. The only thing we got going is the run game. So you got to continue to let him eat. If he's the guy that's bringing a smart, let him eat. Now, what he's going to do ultimately is defensive coordinators are going to say, number 10 is the guy that we got to stop. Similar to what we did with Josh Jacobs with the Packers. It wasn't about Jordan Love. It was about stopping Josh Jacobs and making Jordan Love play quarterback. And you see what happened in that result. He wasn't able to make those plays. So when it comes to the Cleveland Browns right now, Quinshon Judkins is the guy. And now hopefully it sets up play action. And now that play action is just a little bit more effective. Those linebackers have to step up because they have to respect Quinshon because he's trying to run through your face every time he gets the ball. So now you're trying to get there early to make the contact. That now those over routes, that tight David Njoku on the over, Jerry Jeudy going behind the linebackers, hopefully that stuff starts to open up.
All right, so his face is your case. I understand. That was good. Flacco's averaging 8 yards per completion. That's third lowest in the league. So you're right. You may have come up with a spark of something. All right. riddle me this. What in the world were you guys doing this morning on T-Bone and Tyvis? Because my great producer TLC has a few drops. I want you to listen to these and then explain these, because I felt like I was dropped into some B movie or something.
She wrote an article about a quarterback named Riley Reed. Or sorry, not Riley Reed, Bobby Reed.
Riley Reed. Have you ever heard of her?
She's a porn star.
Riley Reed.
Yeah, what in the world is T-Bone watching, and why were you power ranking porn stars on the show this morning?
I don't know what T-Bone does in the comfort of his own home. You know, when if the wife and kids is running to the grocery store, I don't know what he does when he's by himself. So I can't speak for that. He made a tactical error live on air. Is what he did. Let the cat out the bag.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, when we're discussing fantasy rankings on this show, we're actually talking about football players. But when he's talking about his own fantasy rankings,
He's a porn star.
It's different.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, man, everybody got their thing that they like, you know? It's just funny how so many people are familiar with her work. I didn't know that.
Riley Reed, have you ever heard of her? When did you guys figure it out?
What? Who that was?
Oh, you mean a listener told you?
No, I mean, I knew.
You know as well.
I didn't catch, because I was so into the story that I didn't catch him say Riley Reed. So the chat was going crazy. They was like, Riley Reed, do y'all know who that is? And I'm like, did you say that? And that's when I was like, oh yeah, I know who that is. I've seen some of her
Instagram posts,
her catalog.
Yeah, I've seen her catalog before. Yeah.
All right. Well, let me tell you, I hopped in the car this morning and I heard this, and Dustin was on. I'm like, what in the world are they? What are they ranking here? All right. Yeah.
Are you familiar with her work?
No, I didn't know the name. I did not.
Okay.
You did say you were a big body cam guy, though.
Yeah, I did say I was a big body cam guy, but that was more for shoplifting and things like that.
Police POV.
They say that she is what you would call a mattress actress.
Okay. I had never heard that phrase before, but that is pretty awesome. Hey, good work if you can get it, I guess. Good money in that field, I hear. Maybe.
I guess I wouldn't know nothing about it.
Okay. All right, my friend.
I'm like Timmy Cooper, man. I'm a good, clean boy.
Okay. Well done.
Very proud of you. That's very nice.
All right. We are proud of you. Take care, my man. Be well.
I'll see you.
And
I'll see y'all next week. Go Bucks, go Bucks, go Browns, and go. His last playoff spot is ours.
Oh, he's guaranteeing the playoff for the Guards. There's we didn't need that. We didn't need any guarantee. All right. Tyvis says market guaranteed. We'll come back with a Buckeye Bulletin. How does Ryan Day prepare his young quarterback for the first roadie? You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Hey, it's Anthony. Tailgating, hiking stadium stairs, going out after the games. It's a great time of year. It's also the time of year I'm on my feet a lot. And there won't be a time when I don't have my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store in my shoes. They make all the difference for me. They help my feet, my hips, my back. They're not just like regular insoles. They're designed so I get firm yet flexible function. They actually correct poor foot biomechanics and give me even more comfort. The fitting process is simple. From the moment you walk in, the Good Feet store will personalize the process. From the pain that brought you to them in the first place to your lifestyle needs. They'll properly measure your feet and arch size. Then take the free test walk. If you love them, wear them home like I did. Your new arch supports will help you begin living the life you love without your feet getting in the way. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City and learn more at goodfeet.com.
ABC Wednesday, The Golden Bachelor premieres. Hi, Mel.
Hello.
Former NFL star Mel Owens is looking for his second chance at love.
I'm hopeful that I'll find true love.
But these women are in a league of their own.
Mel has never been exposed to women like us. I don't know how he can handle it all.
The Golden Bachelor season premiere.
To love, happiness, and fun.
Wednesday at 9 on ABC6.
Good morning, Columbus. It's going to be a good day, and it's going to be big. With the biggest morning news team in Central Ohio, Good Day Columbus. The biggest news, weather, and traffic in town every day. Bringing you over 5 hours of breaking news, live reports, and continuing coverage, and stories that'll make you smile. First Warning Weather gets you ready for the day ahead, and Steer Clear Team Traffic will get you to work on time. Good Day Columbus, weekday mornings on ABC6. It's going to be a good day.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, lease 2 Elantras for $222. That's right, lease 2 new 2025 Elantra SEs for just $222 a month for a 2-year lease. Both your new Elantras come with owner assurance and America's Best Warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. In Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.99 down per unit plus taxes, fees. First month payment, 10K miles per year, ends 9/30.
We have made our community a very important part of our business. One of the things that many people may not realize is that I was born and raised in Columbus. Our plant is in Columbus. All of our employees are from Ohio. And the community hears about all this stuff. And so the community trusts us.
Visit Rosati Windows by the end of this month and get 35% off all windows and doors.
Other stations have crappy ratings and they wonder why no one listens. So instead of investing money in local talent, they fire people and plug in AI voices. Gee, real entertainment. Well, all of our dummies are real, damn it. The Fan, Ohio's real human destination. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. Let's establish where the spread is today. Seems like it's been hanging in there now. So Bet365 has Ohio State laying 8.5.
Oh, really? That's gone down a little bit. I thought it opened at like 11.5, 13.5, somewhere in there.
So a week ago on the show, we tried to find out what the look-ahead line was. There was none out, with Ohio State being on a bye and Washington having not played yet against Washington State. And I called a guy that I know, the postmaster. My bookie back in the day used to be a mail carrier.
That's awesome.
It's a great job for that. Yeah. Think about what he does exactly.
Carrying the mail,
Picks up envelopes and he drops them off. Like it's a perfect. So I started nicknaming him the Postmaster. Postmaster told me 13.5. Then we saw it at 11.5. Then we saw it at 9.5. And now it's at 8.5. So it has plummeted if you believe in look-ahead lines. So, boy.
I think I smashed the Buckeyes by 8.5, by 9.
Would you buy it down and just pair it with something a little more, like, would you buy it down to 6.5 just to do it?
No.
Yeah, probably not. That's a lot to pay. 2 points would be a lot, especially across a key number. But that would cost you a lot to buy it down to 6.5. So anyway, it's at 8.5.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I think the Buckeyes smash that unless something goes wrong.
It's whether Washington can score on Ohio State's defense.
Yeah.
Because if you're giving an offensive team, which Washington is, 8.5, it's different when you're giving 8.5 to a team that presumably can actually put points up, rather than giving a poor offense and a good defense a lot of points, like 13.5 or 14.5. That's the weird part of it, because the over-under is 51.5. So they obviously expect some points to be scored.
Points.
Yeah. Here's Ryan Day on taking his quarterback, Julian Sain, on his first roadie. Preparing him.
Give me 3 seconds.
3, a 2, and a 1.
Why am I not finding it? Oh, that's why. There it is.
Just making no assumptions when you're on the road, all the little things, and recognizing that, it's going to be a challenging environment. It's just almost like going back to the beginning, going back to basics, because, anytime you go on the road, just everything's a little bit more difficult. The communication's more difficult, all of those things. So it's not anything new, but at the same time, we have to, amidst the environment and the noise and the chaos, have poise and composure. And, we can't let the environment dictate how we play.
That's what he's shown so far. I wonder if Ryan Day's hinting, or maybe he's duping us into thinking that he's going to bring Julian Sain back to routine play routinely. This is the Texas game again. Not going to take too many chances unless we get a big lead. I don't think so. I think that he's going to take his chances. I agree with him that the stuff to focus on is correct. Is false starts, stupid stuff. You are in a road environment. Time zone change for them, for Ohio State, and everything that goes into traveling to Seattle. I don't know how much of an issue that will be for them. I do know that it took 3 quarters for Washington to put away Washington State. That wasn't a walkover for them, and I don't think they were. Could they have been caught looking ahead to Ohio State and just thinking about the big game next week? Who knows? But I don't think Washington is a team that is expected to make a massive splash this year. I think they were expected to make another jump. They had massive roster turnover when Fish got there, and now it looks like they're ready to kind of make a move into the upper echelon of the Big Ten standings. Damon Williams could be a household name if he plays well in that game. Jonah Coleman is a potential All-American running back. And when they hired Ryan Walters as a coordinator, it was deemed as a very, very good hire. So I'm glad Coach Day is kind of zeroing in on the old, I know it's cliche, back to basics, but I think it has a real feel to it.
I don't necessarily know if it's completely back to basics, more than let's establish a rhythm early. Try and get the run going. I know it hasn't really been there for Ohio State, maybe the way they've wanted it to be yet. Some of those easy completions to get the quarterback in a rhythm, the rollouts, the play actions, things like that. I just can't buy Washington unless Ohio State shoots themselves in the foot. I can't buy Washington making this interesting. They haven't been tested yet. Yeah. They played Colorado State, UC Davis, and Washington State. Washington State's 0-4 now. I just can't buy it.
It has 34-20 written all over it.
Right,
Something
and that's
like that,
a cover.
35-20.
That's a cover.
Yeah, of course it is.
Doesn't
it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it have a...
Yeah. I'm with Dylan here. I don't view this as much of a trap game. I don't think anybody's been talking about Washington at all until these past 2 weeks, and I think that's only here. I don't think anywhere else in the country anybody's talking about Washington.
No more Kalen DeBoer. It's I just don't know. I think they're good. I don't think they're bad by any means, but are they,
it's been UC Davis.
Yeah, are they a 7-5 team, 8-4 type team? Probably more so.
Colorado State?
Yeah, they played Colorado State, UC Davis, and Washington State. It's
I like Jed Fish just because I like his voice. I don't know. There's nothing to do with anything.
They also, they haven't been turning the ball over. They're not making a ton of mistakes. And the passing game has been very good. So I think that if they can move the chains on third down, then you have a chance to stay with Ohio State. Now, whether their lines can hold up, that's the big thing for me. The depth on their lines. I think they have some talent, but you get worn down over 4 quarters. The best Washington's recipe is hang around, keep the home crowd in the game, and try to be within a score late and see if you can steal one. No one's putting Ohio State down here from beginning to end. I think what this is, it's kind of built in to be like protective. Like it's built in to be like, okay, look out, Washington, first roadie, weird time zone. They're kind of sneaky offensively, good quarterback, good running back, good receivers. I don't know really how great their defense can be because it didn't show up that much last week. And so if Ohio State tests them and stresses them, then this should be a runaway at the end. But no one's going to say that. No one's talking like that. I think it's all the respect to your opponent. But if we're going to be real, Washington should not be staying with Ohio State over 4 quarters, top to bottom. But college football can college football at any moment. And you do have a young quarterback with his first one on the road. But if he handled Texas at home, which I could make the case was more pressure than this one.
Oh, for sure.
Well, that's the thing with the line for me that's so interesting. You know, obviously, Vegas has a feeling putting the line at 8.5, but it's like, okay, all this game is a young quarterback going on the road for the first time. If he gets into the rhythm in the first 2 drives for Ohio State, they're going to be fine. They beat Texas by 7 at home. Texas is a much better opponent, I would say, than Washington is. But again, you can counter that and say, do we know how good Texas is? Probably not yet. But that's the thing for me. Like the 8.5, I just feel like I'm with you. Like I feel this is 12, 14-point Ohio State win.
Yeah, and just for me, since the Texas game, I'm putting Ohio State as the leader in the clubhouse in the country. Like I just am. And so
I think Julian Sain's the best quarterback in the country.
He's up there, and I'm a firm believer that you only get one best game of the year. And I'm not saying Texas was that game, but I definitely believe that if Ohio State comes out and isn't their best, maybe Washington throws everything they have. Mm-hmm. Like, I expect Washington to come out guns a-blazing and maybe some trick plays and maybe some 4th down attempts and stuff like that. But across a 4-quarter game, I'm not concerned about Ohio State being like a 3-point game in the 4th quarter.
I agree with that, too.
You know what
that
this
would
is?
Shock me.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly like this because the score didn't dictate that. But do you remember how much Northwestern played Ohio State tough at Wrigley Field? Like how tough they played them early, and then eventually became 31-7.
Yeah.
Like no one expected Northwestern to go toe-to-toe with Ohio State over 4 quarters, but they did early. And they did for a couple quarters, it felt like. And like they were in the game. It's a 2-score game at halftime, but eventually the cream rises to the top, and you expect that this week. But they have to respect them, and they certainly do. All right, that's today's Buckeye Bulletin. All right, hour number 3 on the way. We'll deep dive the quarterback who's now under a microscope and what to do when it comes to actually committing to their guy. That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Question from a listener. Do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Looking to get your roof or siding replaced this fall? Call the company that delivers an excellent customer experience every time. Newman Roofing. Don't wait. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Hey, it's Anthony for Orthopedic One. I'm not invincible anymore. I never was, but I refuse to punt on things I still love to do. That's why over the past several years, when I've had things creep up, like back pain, shoulder issue, elbow problem, I've had it all, I've always chosen Orthopedic One. That's because Orthopedic One is Ohio's largest physician-owned orthopedic practice with 60 physicians in every specialty. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com. Orthopedic One. This is where you go to get better.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Away game this week, but that just means you can make the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus your home for Saturday football. Join the fan for the tailgate show and then party with us with the ultimate watch party. We have football contests with amazing prizes. There's wall-to-wall screens, ticket and memorabilia giveaways, and unbeatable game day food. Can't wait to see you at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook on Saturday. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Football season is here at Columbus, and Germain Toyota of Columbus has the winning plays. Drive home a brand new 2025 Tacoma SR5, just $269 a month for 36 months. 10,000 miles a year. Or power up with the Tundra, now just 1.75 APR for 72 months. Don't wait. These deals, they won't last long. Stop by Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or shop anytime at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus. See dealer for details.
Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
5 words no one wants to hear? You need a new roof. What do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and these are all questions that run through people's minds when they hear those 5 words. But if you pick up the phone and call Victor's Home Solutions, your new roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. Victor's has thousands of 5-star ratings for both customer service and high-quality installation. Plus, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And since no one wants to pay these high interest rates for a limited time, Victor's is offering 5-year, no-interest financing with minimum monthly payments for qualified buyers. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. Victor's Home Solutions has your back. It starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. It assesses the exact condition of your roof and what needs to be done next. Set up your inspection today. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS or online at victors.com.
Everybody poops. Everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop. And I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. And don't forget about our 29-degree drafts.
Hi, this is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we're offering an amazing $12,000 off MSRP on a new Ford Bronco Badlands. This offer is only from Krieger Ford, so come see us on Morris Road or visit KriegerFord.com today. Home of the Krieger Commitment. Best cars, best people, peace of mind.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Major League Baseball will adopt the automated ball strike challenge system for the 2026 season entirely. Each team will get 2 challenges per game and will retain them if successful. The system has been used previously in AAA and spring training. Tonight, the Cincinnati Reds welcome the Pittsburgh Pirates at 6:40. Johan Oviedo starts for Pittsburgh against Brady Singer for Cincinnati. Cleveland Guardians host the Detroit Tigers at 6:40, trailing the Tigers by 1 game in the AL Central. Detroit's Tarek Skubal squares off versus Cleveland's Gavin Williams. Oklahoma State has fired head coach Mike Gundy after 20 seasons. Gundy is the winningest coach in Cowboys program history. NFL, Giants plan to start Jackson Dart in Sunday's game versus the Chargers, while the Buccaneers wide receiver star Mike Evans is expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks with a strained left hamstring. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
show's just skimmed the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hour number 3, Rothman and Ice. Dylan Tyre in for the Iceman today. And out of tribute to Gundy being gone from Oklahoma State, it's my favorite of all time.
Twitter.
Yep.
Oh, that's him?
I believe that is Gundy. I believe that is a Mike Gundy that I've been playing for years. And I've been loving it.
Twitter.
One of his best contributions to this show. Game last night was epic. Good game. Fast-paced. A lot of points. It was 14-14 in the third. Branch dropped a tailor-made pick in his hands for the Lions. I thought that was going to come back and haunt them. I thought Reed had a chance at a pick when they went to the halfback pass. Then, of course, they scored anyway. Did you watch that game last night?
Yeah, man. I had a...
Manning cast or regular?
I watch regular. I don't watch the Manning cast. I had a 31-28 Ravens final score play. It was tracking until the fumble. Yeah, the fumble killed me.
Ooh, a final score better over here.
Yeah.
Going for the low risk, high reward. Let's see if I can nail it right on the numbers. Boy, we may have walked ourselves into a real degenerate over here.
It was tracking, man. It was tracking. And then, unfortunately, Aiden Hutchinson forces the fumble. You guys talked about it off the top. Unreal play, but that killed me.
I was thrilled last night with Jahmyr Gibbs because he won me fantasy, even with Montgomery on my bench. I did watch the Manning cast. I usually am a regular guy, too. I went to the Manning cast. I don't know why. I just felt like hadn't seen it yet this year. And they had... Who'd they have on? Dumb and Dumber. Jeff Daniels. So they had Daniels on, and then they had Michael Phelps, and they had on Daniel Jones, the new IT quarterback.
Okay, yeah, they always do representatives of the cities. Daniels is a big Lions fan,
and
right?
Phelps is the Baltimore kid.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating. Daniel Jones is probably a very, very nice guy.
Boring as hell?
Boring, it would be giving him a compliment. I don't think he knew he could talk. I'm telling you, it was deer in the headlights, didn't know what to say. Peyton and Eli trying to goof it up a little bit nothing.
And that guy is leading a 3-0 locker room right now.
And that's all that matters.
He looks good doing it.
Do yourself a favor. Go to, I'm still going to call it Twitter. Go to Twitter.
Twitter.
And just kind of Google Daniel Jones Manningcast and just get me a few comments to see if I'm on the right track. Lions were up 4 late in the fourth quarter. And a lineman got called for a face mask on a running play. I mean, so they wound up getting 3 and they go up 7. And it's 4th and 2. There's 2 minutes to go in the game. The Lions are up 7. They're at midfield. And Baltimore has 3 timeouts. Like I said, there's 2 minutes to go. And Campbell calls play action, and Goff lays it in. And I've ripped him for poor situational coaching. This one, I think, was right on the mark at 4th and 2. It's a very gettable 4th down. And you don't want to give the ball back to Lamar Jackson with 3 timeouts in 2 minutes. It's plenty of time. Now, you could make him go a lot more than 49 yards if you punt it. But you don't know if that punt's going in the end zone, what have you. But he put the game in Goff's hands. Not in Montgomery, who's having a great game, or Gibbs. And they ran an option pitch at the goal line. He ran a straight play action. And the confidence that he had in Goff to complete that was big.
You know, to me, Jared Goff is one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the NFL. You know, when we're doing all of our top 10 lists before the season, I feel like Goff gets left off. For me, he's in that, 7, 8, 9, 10 range for best quarterbacks in the NFL. I watched that quarterback show that Netflix put out that he was part of this last time out.
Likeable.
And you can see how much faith, not just the coaching staff, the city has in Goff, but his teammates. They love that guy. So not surprising at all that he was the guy that made that happen to me. And I knew that play. I was telling TLC before we hopped on there. I did think about it. You're talking about me being a degenerate. I was looking at the live lines. Amon-Ra St. Brown to catch a pass on that drive was plus 1,000 going into that timeout. I was thinking about it because I said, if they're going for it, at this point we didn't know they were going for it. If they're going for it, it's going to go to St. Brown. Didn't bet it. Lo and behold, goes right to St. Brown because I didn't think they were going to go for it. But that's the way he rolls, man. And they're going to live by that. They're going to die by that. It worked out that time. If you give Lamar the short field right there, the Ravens are scoring a touchdown. I don't care what you say. I think the Ravens
and the way that I was wrong. I mean, Mark Andrews came out of nowhere.
Yeah, what a game.
I didn't think he'd have that game.
What a game.
So I was off on a couple last night, but I felt good with the Lions, and they protect him. He's very good. I've always questioned whether the Lions are going to be that explosive outdoors. They were.
Mm-hmm.
And so give them all the credit in the world.
And their defense got the stops when they had to. That was the thing. The Ravens could never get a stop.
And Dan Campbell went 3 for 3 on those fourth downs and turned into 3 touchdowns.
He's one of those guys that I don't think he's afraid of the message it'll send to his team, but he does want to be consistent. And I think he's now earned the right to, with his team, to know when to go for it or when not to. And he seems to always want to go for it. But that's a massive win for the Lions. It really is. Because now they're home against Cleveland. They go to Cincinnati. They'll have to go to Kansas City. Like, that's huge.
2-1.
2-1 now after losing at Green Bay. Obviously, they got right against the Bears. We didn't know how right. And here they are. Any comments? Am I on the right track with Daniel Jones' appearance on the Manning Cast?
I went to X. I typed in Daniel Jones Manning Cast. Here are some of the top comments that I'm seeing. Someone says Daniel Jones on the Manning Cast, and it is a gif of Homer Simpson staring into space with a look into Homer's brain, and it's a monkey banging cymbals. We have Daniel Jones has not blinked once since he's been on ESPN.
That's accurate.
We have someone says Daniel Jones on the Manning Cast, and it's a gif of Biden looking confused. We have Daniel Jones has the personality of a cardboard box. We have Daniel Jones as the personality of paint drying.
Mm-hmm.
So looks like you're in the consensus.
Honestly, it was tough because Eli and Peyton are obviously just trying to be goofballs, and they do a great job with that. I think Eli does it to critical acclaim. I think Peyton is a very good actor. I shouldn't say he's not a great actor.
Was he in Heat?
He's great. He's great at like playing a character. He's not a great actor. Eli, I think, is genuinely a goof. Like absolutely genuinely a goof. Like he is one of those guys. He reminds me a little bit of Dustin Johnson in that they'll never feel a pressure moment. And you'll also try to maybe be frustrated with them that they don't take something too serious, like serious enough in a serious moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think Eli was built for the moments that he had in those games because of that personality.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what you said about Peyton, like Peyton's more of the politician, I would say, between the two of them. And, all of those old clips of Peyton Manning on SNL, those showcase that he has a good personality and he can get into that. I think Peyton just gets it when it comes to that stuff. And then, like you said, Eli is the guy that, Peyton's there to kind of guide the ship and support him. And Eli is, he's offering the comic relief and jabbing Peyton. They just have a good back and forth like that.
Have you ever seen the movie Heat, Dylan Tyre?
No, I haven't seen Heat.
From 1995.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah, that's one on my list that I have to watch, yes.
So my boy Bo Bishop said this was one of the best movies of the last 50 years. I don't think it was one of the best 50 movies of the year it came out. Like, honest to God, I was so surprised to hear him say this. And he and I are lockstep on so many movies. This Heat reminded me of, think of one of the greatest athletic rosters, teams that you've known that didn't win at all, that fell way short of their potential. The reason that Heat is so talked about is because of the cast. It is more overrated than any movie around in the last 50 years.
So what did Bo say? It's a top 50 movie ever?
He said it was, TLC, what was the exact quote?
He said one of the best movies of the past 50 years.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I think both of you are wrong because Heat. I'm just going by.
Don't go by box office.
I'm going by.
Don't be Jerry Jones, and as long as people bought the tickets, that means it must be great.
I'm looking at the IMDb rating and the Rotten Tomatoes rating, and I have not yet seen the movie. I have heard it's good and worthwhile. You're looking at the cast, tremendous cast: De Niro, Al Pacino, et cetera,
Kilmer, Ashley Judd, Voight,
8.3 out of 10 on IMDb, 84% on Rotten Tomato. That means it's a good, not great movie.
No. You will ask me for those 2 hours and 45 minutes back that you won't be getting.
That is a little bit long. 2:45, I will say. For a film like this.
The first 3 hours,
heist movie,
the
right?
first hour of the 3 just drags. Yes, there's an opening robbery scene. First of all, Al Pacino in a love scene early. That throws you off. De Niro has a love interest in the movie. That throws you off. The first hour is after the robbery just drags. It's so convoluted. This is cop versus bad guy having a drink together. Yes, I'm a crook. Come try to get me. Let's not pull him for questioning. Let's try to build a scene with De Niro and Pacino at a bar. Okay, whatever. And as shootouts go, it was intense. But 4 guys against 50 cops, a little much. And De Niro, these are guys in their heyday. And they were thrown together in this movie. And there's so many, I don't know how many holes I could poke in this movie. I won't anymore. But this is 3 shots in the chest at close range, and they're still having a conversation. Like, it's that kind of stuff. Like, it's classic 90s, way overblown, way overacted, way overplayed.
I see.
And way too unrealistic. And I know all movies are unrealistic to some degree. But this is way past it.
Okay.
And the only reason I went all in on it with Bo is that he said it's one of the best movies of the last 50 years.
Because he went all in on Baker.
Yeah. Because he thought he couldn't believe Baker had not seen it. And then Baker said, I hadn't even heard of it. And I said, it's okay.
Huh.
I mean, Bo would have to admit, The Fugitive blew it away.
Oh, that's my favorite movie ever.
Okay, so what would he say? Heat's better than The Fugitive?
I would hope not.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Italian Job? The 2003 Wahlberg one?
With Jason Statham, that one?
Yeah, where would you
rate
Mini
Coopers.
Yeah, the Mini Coopers. Where would you rate that compared to
this?
To Heat? It's another heist movie. Because, I like that
was more fun than this.
Okay, interesting.
I'll say this, and then we can get into the specifics of this on the other side, but it was not in the top 10 of highest-grossing films in 1995.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't even one of the best films of
to say that's one of the best movies in the last... I mean...
Now, I haven't seen it, just to be clear, so I'm not giving that hard of an opinion
also,
on it.
what are we talking about? Like, Citizen Kane, not in the last 50 years.
We're not doing that.
But the last 50 years is like when all movies were made.
A million great movies. That was not at the top 50.
Yeah, minus The Wizard of Oz. The past 50 years has pretty much all of them.
Yeah, like Citizen Kane, Wizard of Oz, they're on the list, but
Shawshank.
Everything else is in the last 50 years. Like, what are we talking about?
Jerry Jones not rolling out the green carpet. And you know what? He's right. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better, you've earned it.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 9/30. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
Script Ohio necklaces, Blocko earrings, Ohio State bangles, and more. You'll find an exclusive collection of luxury Buckeye jewelry you'll love at the Diamond Cellar, starting at $99. Show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Is your money just lying around? Switch to Huntington Bank, and your money's always doing something. Like auto saving for special events, tracking your teen spending, and helping protect your parents from fraud. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
They're trained. They're fired up. Let's do it. When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Ohio State University Army ROTC isn't just a curriculum. It's more than just a path to a degree. For more than 150 years, we have been forging tomorrow's leaders. Here you will find your purpose, your mission, your ROTC family. At Ohio State, you're not just joining Army ROTC, you're stepping into a history of excellence that spans generations. Learn more at arotc.osu.edu. Buckeyes lead the way.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, you might not be big on technology, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Maybe you've gone through a divorce or a bad breakup or a relative moved out. It's been hard, and you just want to take what you want and leave the rest behind. I will help you. Retiring and want to sell your commercial properties or land. I will help you. Sellers, whether you're selling as is or selling for top dollar, you're no longer alone. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
If you're itching for a new vehicle this fall, you have to go see my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Hey, it's Anthony. I drive an awesome Ridgeline, and you can drive home the rugged 25 Ridgeline Sport with 0% APR or lease for as low as $299 a month. Or go for the looks and reliability of a 2025 Honda Accord LX, just 3.99% APR or lease it from only $199 a month. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, and GermainHondaofDublin.com.
Common Man and Timmy, they're good, clean boys. If you enjoy a radio show hosted by immature men with slightly above average sports knowledge, they've got you covered.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today we'll see more of an isolated chance of showers and thunderstorms, although we'll have some clouds to start. Expect a little bit of sunshine mixing in with those clouds throughout the day today. Daytime highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. For tonight, we start off dry with overnight lows in the 60s, but chances of rain develop after midnight and could see some thunderstorms going into the Wednesday morning commute. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman Ice present Free Snap Leads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Bet365 time, because new customers who bet $5 get $200 in bonus bets. Win or lose. New Bet365 customers, jump in now. Football season, we're off and running. Hockey's coming up. Getting into the baseball playoffs. We got Ryder Cup this weekend. So much to bet on. And if you start now as a new customer, $5 get you $200 in bonus bets. All right, so I'm in fantasy baseball. I'm out of the semis. I'm in the third place matchup, and I'm still grinding, trying to get third place. I picked up Brady Singer for the Reds.
Singer.
Do I mental hedge this against the Pirates with an under 5.5 strikeouts, which would get me plus money? or do I take the favorite and go over 5.5 and lean in? It doesn't matter now for the championship, but I feel like the Pirates don't strike out a ton. I'm surprised they're offering even money at under 5.5 Ks. However, what they do expect is him to go at least 5 innings. Where do you stand on that?
Take the over. The Pirates stink. I know you say they don't strike out.
They don't.
A lot,
they're like 23rd.
I don't know. I just feel like it's that time of year for the Reds, right? Like they got to win games. So wait, he's a Red, right? Brady Singer.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got Singer. All right. You talked me into it. Over 5.5 Ks.
Singer used to be a Royal. Is that correct? Because I was thinking he was a Royal.
They traded Jonathan India
and
one for one.
Right. And Singer's been great for them. He really has.
Yeah, take the over there. It's must-win season for the Reds. They need a big outing out of him.
You got your eye on anything?
I'm taking a look right now. I will tell you the one thing, like, it's not that juicy, but Jackson Dart's been announced as the starter for the
Giants.
For the Giants, I'm hammering the Chargers. Rookie quarterback in his first start.
On the road or no?
It's a home game for the Giants, I believe. So
time zones.
Road favorites. Chargers are road favorites. I hammer the Chargers. I'm all over that.
All right, you can do that on Bet365 as well. Download the app, see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 or older, must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply, in-app only.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
All right, tell me why this is a thing. There's a story that says that Jerry Jones believes that it wouldn't be appropriate to do a tribute video to Micah Parsons when he returns to Dallas. Of course it's not. You just traded him.
Way too soon.
He's a young guy. This isn't a guy who's at the end of his career coming back for one last trip to Dallas. And like this, I agree with you, way too soon. Why would this even be a story?
See,
this didn't even pop in my mind that they would do this.
Here's the thing, though. I'm curious because, sometimes if it's a guy that's played for you a long time, you do the video. Do they do a thank you graphic, put him on the camera for a wave, or is that not even a thing? That's probably not even a thing because I feel like there was bad blood.
Just happened.
Bad blood.
Well, it's not just that it just happened. It's how he left.
Right.
He didn't leave in free agency. He requested out of there.
So this is the quote from Jerry Jones here because he was asked, about this being like Ezekiel Elliott or Emmitt Smith because they did videos for those guys. Mind you, neither one of those guys was traded away by the owner / GM / president of the team.
And both were washed up at that time.
Right, the week before the season. Jerry Jones says, I don't think that's appropriate this way. Emmett was a different story, but that's not to diminish Micah. But I think Micah's got enough welcome out there, and we just need to show we've got antidotes for that. I don't know what that means. The second part of that quote, what does that mean? Micah Parsons has enough welcome, and we need to prove that we've got antidotes for that?
He speaks in a lot of Western sort of analogies.
What does that mean?
I don't know what it means.
Sounds like he's hanging with the trendy crowd.
Does that mean that too many Cowboys fans still like Micah and we need to prove that we won? I don't know what that means.
Or he's got some sort of antidote to prevent something big from happening for Micah.
Here's a question I've got for you.
Emmitt Smith played 12 years there.
Does Cowboys game management show Jerry Jones on their big Jumbotron during this game? Because he's getting booed if so. Right?
Depends on the score. You better get that in early.
I don't know if Jerry got this wrong on the surface because of the player he is, but we can't judge it completely yet till we know what the Cowboys are going to do with this.
What time is this game being played?
That's got to be America's Game of the Week, right? Let's see.
America's Game of the Week. I don't know.
Let's see, it's week 4?
8:20. Oh, it's Sunday Night Football.
Sweet.
Perfect.
Yeah, September 28th at 8:20, Sunday Night Football.
What a story.
Let's go.
Packers coming off a loss to the Browns.
Such a
Cowboys
get-right
getting
game.
drilled by the Bears. What's the spread on that? GB minus, what are they, 6.5?
6.5 road favorites. No CD for the Cowboys. I think they're missing some pieces. I think Tyler Booker, their offensive lineman's out.
They're bad.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you talked about hammering the Chargers.
I'll be all over the Packers, too.
I feel like the Packers laying 6.5.
Parlay there.
Feels pretty good right now. But I don't know why this is a story. I never thought there would be a video.
Absolutely
I never thought there needed to be a video. The fans are going to clap. Maybe they'll boo their owner, especially if Micah has a couple sacks in the game. She probably will. I don't know why anyone ever expected this. When I saw the story today that Jones said they won't have it, boy, are you guys like me? Were you surprised this even became an issue? Or a question even?
No, this is not a question.
Yeah.
Of course you're not going to do that.
That's right. So I guess it's just to get a soundbite out of Jerry, but no, I think he's right here.
I mean, you got to ask him.
He's right here.
Lord knows he's going to host his own media availability. So you got to ask. But go ahead and ask him just to set him up to say, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
just to get the sound bite.
Welcome back, the favorite son who we just traded.
I'm not surprised to see this become a thing because it's Jerry Jones, Micah Parsons, and the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Like the media wants to make it a thing for sure there. Jerry probably wants it to be a thing because we're talking about it. And
I hope Micah gets 3 sacks.
Me too. Bad trade.
It's weird. I'm kind of pulling for Jerry in this one.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Jerry Jones, but I'm pulling for Micah in this one.
I want to tip this story back just a little bit.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
I think Jerry Jones is incredibly fascinating and entertaining, so I do like him, but I want to see Micah tear it up on the field.
Sorry, Whiskey Paul.
Yeah.
Hey,
and he knows.
Spoiler for you, he's gonna.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have no offensive line, and he's really
good. I won't root for this if I'm betting on the Packers line 6.5. Believe me. If I stay out of it and I stay away from it, then I'll be rooting for the Cowboys.
I bet you this will be one of their most watched games of the season.
Sunday Night Football?
Like this one individually. I mean, because we got
maybe for a half.
We got maybe.
Oh, dude. I mean, just think of it. Outside of the teams being good or bad, these are two of the largest fan bases in the NFL. Like no doubt about it.
And the warm-up act is Chiefs and Ravens leading into it.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, we've got 2 minutes. We're coming back with Austin Ward. We'll talk Buckeyes and get his opinion on why the spread theoretically sounds low. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store today. Walk-ins are always welcome. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road in Grove City.
Children with Down syndrome in Central Ohio need your support. Join 10TV, Newman Roofing, and the Down Syndrome Association of Central Ohio Sunday, October 5th for the 2025 Buddy Walk. Join thousands of participants as we come together to celebrate the uniqueness and resiliency of the Down syndrome community. Your participation and donations directly support programs and services for people with Down syndrome and their families. Together, we can make a meaningful impact and pave the way for a more inclusive future. Sunday, October 5th for the 2025 Buddy Walk.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is your friend with the truck.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
All our people are in uniforms.
And our trucks are clean and shiny.
And big.
We leave spaces empty and clean.
For you.
1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let's do a little day tripping.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Plumbing. Call us today at 1-800-FURNACE for all your plumbing and drain service needs. Yes, 1-800-FURNACE works for plumbing, too.
All right, he's the man. He's Austin Ward, Ohio State football reporter, Letterman Row, The Fan, 10 TV, and a lot more. A-Dub, good to have you, my friend.
Great to be with you. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday.
We really are. We're a little surprised at the spread, 8.5. This is the number one team in the country, Ohio State. They've done nothing really to tell people that they're gettable. I know they played a tight first half against OU, but I don't know. Maybe it's that Texas hasn't impressed since losing to Ohio State. Maybe it's lost a little bit of its luster, but I don't think you can take anything away from Ohio State right now. They're the overwhelming number one team in the country. Yes, they're going to a tough place, and Washington has kind of this maybe swing for the fences, a little bit offense. Where were you on this spread being 8.5? Is that what you thought it would be?
Yeah, I thought, because I was seeing Anthony, like you probably, last week before the Apple Cup. I think it was around 13.5, 13 in some places, and just a look-ahead week for Ohio State. And I thought that was probably about in the right neighborhood, at least for me, of what I thought could happen here, because Washington can score points. There's no question with DeMond Williams and what this offense is capable of. Plus, you factor in the other issue. I think that whether that is odds makers or bettors or a combination of both, looking at the numbers about teams that are traveling across the country and the wear and tear of some of these, East Coast, West Coast trips for Big Ten teams and the data that you had a year ago, I think that could be part of it. Also with just, Washington has looked really impressive primarily, again, with that offense, maybe not so much on defense with, gave up almost 300 yards passing to Washington State. Colorado State scored 21 points on them in the opener, and that's really the extent of the sample size that we have with the Huskies. But, I think that there's, for whatever reason, some lingering uncertainty just about, Julian Sayin with the first road start, at least nationally. I'm not talking about in Columbus, where it feels like everything that Ryan Day and Brian Hartline have thrown it in, and everything that Texas and their defense threw at the Buckeyes in week one, that Julian Sayin is not fazed by any of these challenges and any of these tests. And I would be surprised if the noise in Washington is any different on Saturday. So, yeah, I was surprised, and especially that it's dropped down by maybe a point or two, depending on where you're shopping around, because I feel like this is not a talent-equated game. And when we talked to Ryan Day, a couple hours ago, Anthony, that did not come up. He did say it's going to be a battle, that obviously there's going to be unique challenges stopping the Washington offense, that, Julian Sayin and the communication and Ohio State's offensive line, like you can find some ways that the Buckeyes will get tested in this one, but they have stopped short so far of saying, well, yeah, this is a true matchup game in the Buckeyes parlance. So from that perspective, I am a little bit surprised at the number.
All right, Austin, this might be a little bit premature because not the Blue Jackets. The Buckeyes are just starting their Big Ten slate. But a question that I've been pondering for the last few days, can Ohio State repeat as national champions without a truly dynamic running game? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, Dylan, and it's one that I think is on the mind of Ryan Day and Brian Hartline and Tyler Bowen right here, because I don't know that it has to be a run game that you rely on for 200 yards a game. It's not. Urban Meyer used to say on his press conference Tuesdays that the goal is 250 and equal balance. I don't think that that's the kind of offense that Ohio State needs. I don't think that's the one that, I don't think if Ryan Day is sitting down writing out goals for every Saturday that he believes that's what they have to do and not to win a national championship. I don't think that that's a requirement for them either. I think what keeps Ryan Day up at night, what drives him through these meetings during the week, is will Ohio State be able to rely on its ground game if it's 3rd and 2, if it's 4th and 1? Can they convert at a higher percentage in the red zone? And I think that's where they're looking for some different answers here, and why we've seen them rotate through the options in the backfield. Anthony, I think it was 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, coming out of Grambling was asked. It was an interesting question about if you can have a controversy, a running back controversy, as opposed to a quarterback controversy. Right. And we've seen all three of these guys get opportunities now. And Bo Jackson, by all accounts, even Ryan Day was saying, you don't have to be a coach in the room watching the film to see this guy flash his talent. And I think that whether that's the combination of the offensive line, the schemes that they're using, they've treated the last couple of weeks as really a trial period for all three running backs, for Ethan Onyanwa coming off the bench for Tegra Chabot at right guard, this scheme, that scheme, whatever one is going to stick to the wall. Are they going to turn into a military academy, like 90% of the offense is coming on the ground? No, that's not going to be the reality. And frankly, it would be a disservice to Julian Sands' arm talent, and Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, and what the passing game can do. So I think, Dylan, a long-winded way of getting to the answer, which is I think they can win without it being a truly dominant running game-led offense, because their best skill set comes with the receivers. And I think that they're going to get enough high degree of confidence from the run game to get them what they need to get done. But, that's more like finishing off drives and counting on C.J. Donaldson or Bo Jackson or James Peoples or, whatever combination it is to get the tough yards when they have to. But in terms of the explosiveness, I think that's going to continue to come from the passing attack.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that, and I'm okay. I know there are a lot of people that say just hand the keys to Bo Jackson and let him be the guy, and he could be the next Maurice Clarett and all that, and maybe that is true. Right. And he has been extraordinarily efficient early in the year here. And I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the year we look at all the touches and he has the most of the running back side. Nothing would surprise me there. But I'm okay with Ryan Day playing it this way. Still a young kid. There are chances that maybe he was getting a couple big carries against maybe a worn-down defense or something split for him, but he runs angry. He sees the hole fast. He runs with a deliberate attitude, and that's why I think we love him. And it doesn't mean that CJ should be sitting down. He should be involved as well, and this should light a fire under James Peoples as well. So committee this up right now, play the hot hand. I heard Ryan Day say that today. We'll decide. We'll see how games go. I think it's too early to say other guys have to sit and Bo Jackson should be getting all the carries. I think that would be foolish, but it would also be turning a blind eye to a guy who is right now third nationally in yards per carry. And that's hard to ignore.
Yeah, and I think the challenge, Anthony, and I would bet a lot of money that you and I will probably talk about this tomorrow, but, it was interesting when Ryan Day was asked about handling that between all three of those guys, because when he's talking about the hot hand and he's talking about, the carries are not going to be necessarily evenly distributed between all three of them, and they weren't even between two guys with Quinshon and Travion a year ago. It gets more challenging. It gets more complicated if you're trying to split that pie up three ways. And my takeaway from Ryan Day's comments about that today is that probably won't be what Ohio State tries to do, and that at some point you probably narrow this down, and that could be as early as Saturday, or it could move. It could be adjusted in a month's time before Penn State. I don't really know, but my takeaway leaving the Woody today was that I don't think Ryan Day believes that they can build a backfield and feature all three of those guys, because it just takes you and I, Anthony, have been covering this for a long time. We've talked to a ton of running backs. You got to get a feel for the game. You want a rhythm. You want to establish a hot hand. And I don't know that you can do that if you're trying to get all three guys involved and in the game in the first quarter or the first half. So I think we'll start to see some of this get narrowed down, and whether Bo Jackson remains in that, I think that would be my anticipation. But how that works, and if that means he's taking the very first snap, maybe that won't be the case on Saturday.
Good stuff, man, as always. Be well. We'll talk to you real soon. You know that.
All right. Appreciate you guys. See you.
Thanks. Austin Ward with us. Letterman Row, the fan, right here on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. All right. We'll come back and we'll play a little Tell the Truth. That's next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Curtis & Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Curtis & Associates. Attorneys who care.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blocko earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus. It's fall or autumn, as the losers like to say. What does that mean in the car world? That means places like Jermaine Lexus want to clear out all of their 2025 inventory to make room for the 2026 models. And for you, the customer, that means big savings. Take advantage of their lack of space with aggressive pricing. They also have plenty of L-certified vehicles on the lot for the fall collection sales event. If you're in the market, please stop in and see my friends. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
Oven-baked French toast. Hot, melty cheese. And meat. And meat. And meat. Introducing UDF's new 3-meat French toast stackwich. Sweet and savory cinnamon swirl French toast piled with thick cut bacon, natural pork sausage, and smoky Canadian bacon. It's the newest flavor in our lineup of breakfast sandwiches. All stacked fresh, all served hot, and all made in store to make your morning. The new 3-meat French toast stackwich from UDF. Mornings made for you.
My name is Katie. I'm a Spectrum customer for mobile and internet. And I grew up on a farm and ranch in Nebraska, so I'm always cowgirling. Cowboy culture, you never want to pay more than you have to because there are so many expenses that go into farming and ranching. To have any efficiency on the farm, you need extreme connection and reception. I bet we save about $180 a month with Spectrum, and that's $2,100 for the whole year.
Real customers, real savings. Visit spectrum.com/save. Real customer testimonial, compensated, not scripted.
Dormar, your climate hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Jeremy Foltz, CEO and co-founder of 3C Technology Solutions, speaks about working with First Bank of Central Ohio.
I think FBCO had a really nice personal touch. Transition was really easy and much cleaner than I thought it would be. Some very specific things that made me very excited to work with them are availability and creativity.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC. An equal housing lender.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT. Kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Morning Juice is live on YouTube. Weekday mornings starting at 6. Or on demand whenever you want it. Yeah, whenever. Bobby Carpenter's at your beck and call. And Tito's there too, to clean the toilets. Head to YouTube and subscribe today. It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com now.
All right, tell the truth. The over-under on how many times you will see the Mike Gundy rant from 07. The I'm a man, I'm 40, come after me.
Over.
Just whatever the number is, take the over?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy because, like you said, yesterday was the 20th anniversary of it, right? Or what was
18
it? Not
years.
20, 18 years.
This is one day after the 18-year anniversary of that rant.
So we're going to be seeing it a ton.
Yep. Tell the truth. Do you love it?
Yes.
It's pretty good. I think it was mistargeted. I don't think... I went through a whole history of that rant, and I don't think that reporter did anything horribly wrong interviewing the player, and seemed like he was trying to deflect his anger and used a reporter for it.
Yeah, just trying to have his guy's back, right?
Yeah. But I don't think the reporter did a whole lot wrong there. All right, TLC, take us home.
All righty, so let's play a little game here because I believe CBS has 2 slots and Fox has 1 this week. Sometimes it's vice versa, but CBS has 2 time slots. And so we got to help We got to help 10 TV figure out which game to air in the morning slot. So I got a few games for you that are available. Which game should 10 TV air? Commanders at Falcons.
No.
Chargers at Giants.
No.
Saints.
Nothing with the Giants.
Saints at Bills.
No.
Titans at Texans.
Those all stink, man.
Is that all? I thought those are all my choices?
Yep. Something's got to air at 1 o'clock.
I didn't know that. Okay. I thought you were going to keep going and I'd have a decent option.
The Bengals are on Monday Night Football. The Browns are on Fox.
All right, so I'm probably going to go with come back to the Falcons and the Commies. Just because Falcons are at home. And off the embarrassment. It feels like more of a competitive game. What were your others again?
Chargers and Giants. We want to see Jackson Dart's first game.
Herbert playing MVP caliber football. Jackson Dart first game. Then you've got that AFC South matchup with the number one overall
CJ Stroud's
pick.
in the game.
Yeah, CJ Stroud in the game. I'd probably pick that one. If we're talking 10 TV locally here, that one. CJ Stroud's the quarterback against the number one overall pick.
There's your local tie.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, I mean, I can buy the local tie, but I didn't think we were speaking as TV execs. I thought we were speaking of what
we are TV execs.
I thought we want what we wanted to see.
Well, that too.
I want to see Cam Ward, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll buy that.
That's a hate watch, though, too.
She wrote an article about a quarterback named Riley Reed. Sorry, not Riley Reed. Bobby Reed.
The Reds are running a promotion during this homestand against Pittsburgh where, not every seat, but certain sections in the ballpark get $8 tickets, and concessions are $3 beers, $2 hot dogs, and $1 ice cream. So all of this to try to drive people to the ballpark because the Reds are in a playoff race with the Mets for that final wild card spot. If you were in Cincinnati right now, how appealing would that sound? $8 tickets.
Incredibly appealing. This is the playoff run.
If they make the playoffs, I'm going, and I'm not even a Reds fan. That's how appealing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how appealing.
They control their own destiny.
Yeah, playoff baseball is awesome.
If that park is empty Tuesday, Wednesday, if that park is empty tonight and Wednesday and Thursday, I'd be shocked.
It's kind of disappointing that they've got to do that to get people there. Like,
you said
come on,
$8
folks.
tickets?
$8 in certain sections,
yeah,
which is the
we need to
upper
find
deck.
out. Okay.
Yeah.
But you're also getting $3
beers. Wait, let me go back.
Two dogs.
Dangerous.
Yeah, $3 beers, $2 hot dogs, $1 ice cream.
Yeah, sign me up. That's dinner and a show.
8, 11. So let's just do this on one beer. 8, 11. Couple of hot dogs.
14. It's $14 to go to the game, get beer, ice cream, and hot dog. That's pretty good.
That's great.
It is. And then, wherever you're going to park. It'll be more than what you just paid there.
Yeah.
But
$50 parking that we're not going to tell you
Park
about.
across the river, walk across, ferry across, you're set.
Am I the only one that
ever heard of her? Go ahead.
Am I the only one that thinks this is a little sad?
Yes,
that
it's
they have to
definitely
offer this.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't. My friends did.
Okay.
It's sad,
I don't
dude.
think
They're
it's-
in a playoff
I think your
race.
friends
Show
are right.
up.
Playoffs. I think your friends are right. I think this.
Don't give them the satisfaction.
That's how it hit me. That it's a little sad. It's awesome for the people that are getting it, but it's also sad they feel they have to do it. But if you've watched some weekday games at that park on TV, it's empty. But it shouldn't be now.
Second question.
Yeah.
This is for Baker because I forgot which one. Which one's coming on at 2 o'clock tomorrow? Waddell or Evison?
The Big Don sub I have at 2 o'clock.
Don Waddell.
I don't know when Coach Dino is going to periscope up.
I heard when, not if, so that's good.
I think the betting favorite would be when.
Yeah, I would think so. He joined you guys last year.
That's right.
And then we have the top 10 grossing movies.
Why break precedent?
Right.
From 1995. He didn't make the list. But keep in mind, this is just 1995, so these are movies released in 95,
That's right.
and then as soon as the calendar hits January 1st, 96, we're not counting that money. But top 10, Batman Forever, highest grossing film in that calendar year. Apollo 13, I have seen that one,
Great
and I like
movie.
that one.
So
That's number
good.
2.
Yeah, I mean, that's Ron Howard directing. Honestly, that was
Hank's
incredible movie.
Yeah.
Very good.
Kevin Bacon.
Yep. Bill
we got
Paxton. What's he up to?
Back-to-back Disney movies. We got Toy Story and Pocahontas.
Yeah.
In 5th place, we got Ace Ventura. Okay. Casper at 6. Die Hard with a Vengeance at 7. Crimson.
Is that the one with? That the one with Samuel L?
I haven't seen Die Hard with a Vengeance.
That
just Die
is
Hard.
Bruce Willis, Jeremy Irons, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes. Pretty amazing.
Crimson Tide at 8. GoldenEye
Crimson
at 9.
Tide's good.
Yeah.
And at 10, Kevin Costner starring in Waterworld.
Into the Waterworld show at
Waterworld.
Universal Studios, but not seen the film.
Yeah, so Waterworld, the movie, is pretty long and wild. It was crazy
Is
budget.
it wet and wild, though?
It's a little wet and wild. It's, what is it, like Mad Max meets, like,
Yeah.
the water?
Yeah, it's Mad Max.
Yeah.
Mad Max on water.
Okay. I haven't heard Heat.
And you're not going to because we just hit number 10 in the top 10.
Riley Reed.
Andy's daughter.
Andre Reed.
Exactly. Hey.
Willis Reed.
Was Andre Reed the one who got his house burned down by his girlfriend?
No, that was Andre Rison.
Andre Rison. Different receiver. My bad.
And you know who burned his house down?
The TLC girl?
TLC.
Yeah.
Left Eye, I believe.
Lucy Left Eye Lopez. And the fan poll today,
Willis Reed.
Either, neither, or both. Who's making the playoffs in baseball?
Both.
Both. It's not going to
Attaboys.
happen. We just kissed it goodbye. All right. CBJ. Cup of Joe.
Who's CB Joe?
Me.
That's right. Dylan, great stuff, man.
All right,
thanks for coming
guys.
in. Con Man and Timmy up next. Thanks for listening. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.